Cynthia, we're live.
Awesome. So I was checking out your merch earlier on my page when I was live,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to the your YouTube, and I went to your store, but then Angela told me I wasn't looking at the right things. Where's this? I'm gonna get some stickers, and I'm curious about your hoodie. Hang on,
You will have to. Did you see? Angela's gotten one. So,
yeah, she said nothing but great things about it.
she got the. It's the one that's got the logo on the left chest and on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
They must have had to change suppliers up or something because I've now relisted that it looks exactly the same as far as I can tell. Because the night that she bought it, they discontinued that item altogether. Now they've got what looks like to be the same design.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to rebuild it from scratch. So they must have had some issue with the supplier.
She said it's embroidered. Is it embroidered? And your price points are really good.
Yeah, I'm keeping the margin low because also people can buy them, you know?
Right. Because I was telling her I had bought merch before, but I bought it all and shipped it out myself.
Mm-mm.
And that was a pain in the ass. I have a gazillion shirts, but the quality was superb. I mean, like they haven't faded, they haven't switched or anything in all these years because I have bought some other people's merch from their website. I'm not sure where you were, and I don't even remember where they were. But after two washes, it was already faded. It shrunk. She's saying nothing but great things.
And she made a short with her modeling it.
Okay.
And she just bought 2 more things. So
yeah, she bought I think a
t-shirt
mug
and
and stickers.
I think she said a t-shirt.
Okay.
Holy shit. And Snowfire just became a member. Welcome. Yeah. And Chuck just bought 10 memberships. This is really
make it rain.
This is how far are we into the stream? 2 minutes and 40 seconds. This has been the most profitable 2 minutes and 40 seconds I've ever spent on YouTube.
Hey, awesome sauce.
And I have a
here's the hoodie.
This is my money clip for now.
Who's in it for the money and who's in it for the conversation?
Right. And Flow State's absolutely in for the fucking money. 1 million trillion dillion %. He's a fucking grifting fuck.
Oh, Snapsies. I want to love you so much. You just make it hard, buddy. But he's like a little puppy that's bad.
He is like a bad
puppy. You got to keep him in the crate. I mean, you want to let him out and play with the other puppies, but he just doesn't know how to act.
Yeah, no. And he's well, I mean, he does know how to act, sort of. He's doing what he's trained to do. He's doing what he's told to do, like any good dog.
You mind if I stream? Because I lost so many watch hours when I lost all my videos.
You lost all your videos?
Yeah, somebody struck the shit out of me. I got one more time
really?
And I'm out of here. Yeah.
Really? Well, I wonder who that was.
No, it wasn't Snaps. It was a female I know who it was.
Oh, you do?
Because she left me messages. Evil bitch.
We got plans for her? Just kidding. I shouldn't make that joke because now she has to stay alive.
We've had plans for her. She's a different type of beast. Do you mind if I restream?
No, go ahead. That's what the button's up there for. Anyone's welcome to restream anytime that I got the button up there. And if I want it to stop, I will stop it.
Thank you.
Damn, I had it. Oh, okay. Chuck, what's up? I do want to
talk. I don't want to talk and get kicked.
Well, this is a safe space.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the same animosity towards you.
Oh, come on.
What?
You're the one that encouraged him to do it.
Oh, it was coming.
Oh, I know.
Maybe I was antagonizing it a little bit, but you got to have fun with it.
Oh, I did.
I got to have fun with it.
As soon as you mentioned my name, that's why I jumped up there and was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Simon, what up?
Origin.
Hi, Chuck.
What do you need new equipment for? I would be interested to talk to you because, well, just because of the comments that you leave and stuff. I pulled up a few articles about the thing Cynthia mentioned. The jail.
Mississippi. Yeah.
That shit's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
So I do want to go over that, but I really have no agenda like always. Well, not like always.
Cynthia?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Are you talking about that thing Cynthia brought up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Well, that's been pretty quiet until everybody on YouTube, on Triggs the other day, people from Mississippi came up and started talking about it. And they were sharing their experiences about people that they have gone missing, and they just know it has something to do with the police. So I've seen other content creators pick it up too. And now the mainstream media, this is another example of why I say YouTube is powerful.
Well, there was a funeral home where I used to live. They were putting the bodies in a dumpster out back. It was a black community.
Not funny.
It was a black community. They busted the guy. So what did the town do? They voted him in as mayor.
Bullshit.
That's common. Not necessarily throwing the bodies.
Look up Carl Officer, East St. Louis.
Say it again.
Carl Officer, East St. Louis, Illinois.
Well, there's part of your problem. We're talking about East St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know about East St. Louis?
I'm from Missouri.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was born and raised.
Yeah, I'm from. I live in Kansas City. I went to MU.
Oh yeah, I-70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a crazy story.
That's
the
actually
resurrection
common.
of Carl Officer.
We have a funeral home here that they just helped all the bodies in the back of the building. They never really did anything with them. And when they gave the family back the ashes, they were just giving them cigarette ashes or just gravel that they picked up in the back.
That's terrible.
Well, it keeps the overhead down.
I told Katie, if anything ever happens to me, just throw me in the trash. I don't care. Don't get extorted.
Right. And you said a while ago it was the black community. I think the way it really is, it's the poor community.
Yes.
It's definitely the poor community that fall victim to this. Number one, if I were to come up to you and tell you, hey, I saw my friend take off with the police officer and I've never seen him since. And so now I think he's dead and buried behind the jail. Nobody would take you serious. You're poor. People aren't listening to you. But
and I'm going to say that's what because there is definitely a difference between how the races are treated in the criminal justice system, but I don't think it's racially based. I do think it's financially based.
And I wanted to clarify something, Cynthia. When I say black, I'm from a little older than you.
Don't even try. We know your best friend is black. It doesn't matter.
It's not a derogatory term.
No, I don't think it's a derogatory term. I hear a lot of people say that, but it's like, okay, I come from the Outsider days, the movie The Outsiders, and there was always a class issue, a poor and a rich fight. Somehow along the way, it's turned into a black and a white issue, but I still view it as a class issue. They step on poor people.
I don't understand the African American terminology. That one I don't get that.
You couldn't remember that phrase?
I don't understand it.
That's how come I like having these panels and then bringing people together so we can understand it, because we each everybody, no matter your class, no matter your race, no matter your gender, has stories to tell. And if we can look past all of that superficial, we're going to really get to meet interesting people
Ow!
and
Get
grow.
off of me, you cow.
And you know what else, Flo?
Yeah.
Before we go
You can
any
put the
further?
link in your chat too if you want.
Oh,
If
okay,
you
yeah,
haven't.
because I already know my people are gonna want to come through.
Yeah.
They're putting these bodies were just in bags. They weren't in coffins or anything. They were just in
Well, of course they
bags.
weren't. Yeah, no, of course they weren't. That'd be absurd to like sneak a body in a shallow grave. But
How big was the town?
What town is it in Mississippi? Flo?
Oh, here, I'll share screen on this.
And it was only because that police officer hit that child, and the mom never gave up looking for him.
Calling for blah, blah, blah. Near Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the casinos are, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I've never been.
Wrong.
I think that Mississippi is also where there's an inmate. I showed this on a stream a while back. An inmate basically got eaten to death by bed bugs in one of the jails.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember what state, though.
I think that was Mississippi too.
It's a poor, and I think the water. I think there's water issues in that state as well.
There's water issues everywhere.
But I agree. I think I think that it's a class thing, and I think this is just my personal theory. I think that the racial thing was introduced intentionally as a diversion.
Mm.
To stick a match to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just because if there is a class difference, which there is for sure, the best way to defend against the lower class is to confuse them so that they're fighting each other.
Absolutely.
Would just like that's why prison gangs are there. How else are you going to keep that many inmates locked down with that few guards unless they're fighting each other?
Shoot them.
That's why we got the left and the right politics. I mean, it's divide and conquer, and it's simple yet effective.
It's sad that people, but like nobody in the group was like, "Hey guys, we shouldn't be burying bodies behind the jail."
How big was the police department?
I'm not sure.
Was it one of these little 3-man police departments or what?
It was the police department and the jail connected, I think.
It's 15 miles from downtown Jackson. So basically they got the Jackson area. It wouldn't surprise me if that was like a dump for things that happen in Jackson.
Yep.
All right, so hold on. This article though says, let's see, 215 people were found behind the jail. They want officials to investigate. The attorney also noted that there are several hundred more unmarked graves, totaling 672.
Now, did you say Ben Crump was the attorney?
No, he's not the attorney. Oh, yeah. He's calling for a federal investigation. He's using it to.
That's a problem already.
Chuck,
I don't know who he is.
Mississippi came up and they talked about him. Is there something about his daughter being a gymnast and he's building the gymnasium for her and using the city's money?
Major facepalm. Thank you for the 5 membership gifting. Throwing bombs in the chat. Light them up.
There was somebody else that did that. A famous person. I'm trying to remember who it was, but they were out of Georgia. Did the same thing with the building of the gymnasium strictly for their daughter.
Okay. That's insane. I didn't know.
Could be.
600.
672. I wonder how they know that they're unmarked graves if they haven't found bodies in them.
Are they all one race or mixed race, or do they know yet?
I don't think they know, but I mean, I don't see anything here.
Okay, so some of those, let's go ahead and chop some of those up to being prisoners who died in the jail, whether it was suspiciously or not suspiciously. Did they not notify the families?
Well, why
No,
would
they didn't. The Crump has in one of his little quotes here, he says that black citizens were disproportionately affected.
So it was a mix. But I'm like you, Flo. I'm thinking it was what you would call Jackson overflow.
For sure.
That many people, unless that town's that big. I don't believe
I
that town
bet
is that.
that every even medium-sized city has one of these too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's not as bad as this, but okay, it was in Georgia where the guy was eaten alive by bed bugs. Georgia man found dead in bed bug infested jail cell, died of severe neglect. Independent autopsy says.
Which jail?
Um,
I was just making sure it wasn't the one I was in.
hold on, it was Fulton County Jail.
Oh, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The autopsy lists dehydration, malnutrition, severe body insect infestation, as well as untreated decompensated schizophrenia as the conditions that led to his death in jail.
Well, I know that watching some of the court stuff on YouTube, people in Fulton County can be there almost 3 years without even getting arraigned. In Fulton
Yeah, that doesn't
County.
surprise me. And Chicago's the same way, from what Joe Cool said. From what Joe Cool said, yeah. That's yeah. I don't really need to go to the South anymore.
Ain't nothing wrong with the South.
Yeah.
Their cops seem even more out of control than the rest of the countries.
No.
Absolutely. Who was it? It was
say
someone
that.
from over here that said the police department hires the most, like, it's only narcissistic sociopaths who are drawn to want to be police officers.
That's my thing. Yeah. Well, that was me.
Yeah, that was
I
you.
mean, because and this is the thing. Why would anybody take that job unless it's to exercise power over other people? Because you don't get paid that much. I just found out recently how early you can take a pension and retire. So there is that now. But you don't get paid a whole shit ton. You have to deal with all the worst parts of humanity at their worst all the time.
Yep.
Nobody likes you. I just don't see why anybody would take that job unless they've got that power thing, which they all do. They all have it.
It's the same type of people that take those civilian contractor BlackRock group. You know what I'm talking about? That goes over and protects the military when they're overseas at certain places.
Yeah, the mercenaries.
Like yeah, the mercenary group, paid mercenaries by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Tax free. Tax free.
They call them security forces.
Right.
It's those power tripping dudes that think they're Johnny Bravo, Delta.
But those are
Force,
ex-military that are doing that. The
gun hole, yeah.
Here's the other thing that I've said a lot of times is that I don't think there's such thing as a good cop, because to be a cop, you have to pimp out your own morals, right?
You know
if you're
what?
arresting somebody, you're attacking them, right? So you're initiating violence against somebody who for victimless crimes, and
I think a lot of them start off with the right idea until
maybe
if you're enclosed in a wrong group long enough, it rubs off on you.
I'll rub off on you.
Mm.
I
Okay, but
bet
let's
you will.
define what a good cop is.
According to who? I'm talking about morally. I think to take that job, you have to be willing. You do have to be willing to enforce laws, whether or not you agree with them. So the job
You
is
have
to
to.
sell your own moral judgment,
No, not necessarily.
unless you agree with all the laws.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And it's society to put them laws in place.
Right. So I mean, I suppose that if you think morals come from law, then you're
No.
not pimping your own morals. You just don't have any.
I would agree with that.
Brett Favre, Favre. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
who
the
I was
football
talking.
player. Yep.
That's who I was talking about.
What about him?
Yep.
Someone in my chat, Tony said, an objective cop that is not emotionally attached is a good cop.
Brett Favre is the one that was padding the coffers of somebody, and they built a volleyball building facility strictly for his daughter because his daughter was there.
Oh, okay, I got it wrong. I said gymnastics.
I think it was volleyball, to be honest, which makes it even worse.
Oh, yeah, anything.
Oh yeah. Tommy has told me to remove everything from my channel with him in it, or else I'm a piece of shit.
What?
Yeah, no, he came. So I was on Ian's earlier over at We Are Awake TV, and he came up and did that, the normal Tommy thing where he just starts like attacking everyone on the panel. And he told me to remove everything with him on it from my channel, or else I think it was, or else I'm a piece of shit. And
good luck with that.
By Flow State. Faggot, white trash, Missouri motherfucker. Are you over talking me?
Must be talking about himself.
Hold on, I got a few more.
Yeah.
I've got 4 Tommy clips. I got to play them all right now while I'm thinking about it, just to make sure that they get in there.
I'm happy to see Flow State right now, but that could change. Let's give him a shot.
Last one.
Stuff that black dick dangling by your face, faggot.
I think
that was for Paul because of his microphone.
I think your boy, Paper Boy or Paper Love or whatever, guy running for president, I think he put out a new one.
Tommy issued you a cease and assist.
He did not. He just issued a little crybaby demand. It's not the first time that he's made stupid requests to me. Like the last time that he was really mad at me, he told me not to join any panel he was on, or else I would be dishonorable. I was like, well, no.
That worked out well, didn't it?
It didn't work out at all. I'll go wherever the fuck I want. He doesn't get to just like saddle me with that obligation to make sure I avoid him at all times. And I certainly don't have my honor tied to it.
I guess I'm going to have to go hard on the paint with Jack now.
Chuck, what were you saying in the chat?
I didn't say anything in the chat. That was the thing.
Are you sure?
It was a
likely fucking story.
Really upset.
It was a comment that I left on Flo's video. His short that he just put up. Yeah. I knew I saw that and I was like, well, I guess he wants to antagonize Jack. You said I'll acknowledge it, and that's all I'll say. is what you said.
Well, that's why, because the way that I do my comments is like I acknowledge them with a heart, right? So not everything that gets a heart is something that I just wanted to make it clear. I
Yeah.
was hearting to acknowledge it, not to.
I understood it,
I know you did. Cynthia's the confused one.
but for him
What?
to say
How
I
am I
was
confused?
typing that crap in chat
Oh
is
my
no.
And I can't believe you called me autistic, Flo. I'm a low key offended by that.
See, this is how bad is your equipment, Origins? Because, well, I don't know. I'd rather not start in on it. Responding to your comments if like there's a chance that you could come up now or at some point in the future.
Your phone will work pretty good, Origins of Business.
Of
Arpo,
beingness.
you might want to look in the mirror.
Chuck, please read your card about Flo. Oh, no, I can't.
That
It has his
actually
name.
could be fun.
He has his name. No, I'm not going to read y'all's.
Read the notes. Let us
No,
give us some
I'm
notes.
not. Those are my little notes. Oh, do I have anything on Lindsay? Nope. Liberator of Self. Lost GO. Nope. Nothing on Lindsay. Want me to put something in there? Okay. I'm going to start with you, Lindsay. What do you want me to put in your card?
Lindsay
Well, you got
is subtly and surgically antagonistic with people, but does it in a way that
I like it.
yeah, does it in a non-aggressive way. I don't know, maybe I could word it better.
I don't agree with that.
Cynthia has several notebooks, y'all. Cynthia wants to start a notebook line. Why am I talking
She's just
about
a little
myself
more subtle, that's all.
in third person? Lindsay, ask a lot of questions.
It gets no answers.
But is she really asking a question? Or is
Or
she
she making a
inverting a
statement?
claim?
She hits them head on, and they don't know what to think about it. And then she does it so sweetly that they really know.
Mhm.
She's pretty damn good at it.
I like it. Dude, seriously though, I feel like Paul wants to be like Godzilla and come pick her up, put her over his shoulder, and then climb the side of a building.
What happened?
Mhm.
I feel like Paul is like Godzilla who wants to pick up
Oh.
Lindsay.
It's the conquest thing.
Mm-hmm.
He really don't want her, but he wants to prove a point.
Mm-hmm. He just wants to take her away from Flo, which is weird. And
Well, he
go ahead.
I don't know. I've told him before. I've said a lot of times, let's find anything at all that's measurable and demonstrable, and we'll compete on it, and I'll beat you.
Ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Sarah.
It did not happen. I initially made the challenge straight to his face when we were on a panel together, and he would not come up with anything. I said anything at all.
With that silver bar, I remember.
Okay. Yep. You got a good memory.
I don't like the way Paul keeps going at Katie here lately. First of all, Katie's a down ass bitch. There is nobody that would go on the run for 8 months for Paul. I wouldn't even go on the run for 8 minutes for Paul.
No, yeah.
That trumps everything. Like that makes her the most gangster.
Katie's Katie's plenty gangster enough that she knows what's going on. She knows what She's not stupid. She's just quiet.
If Paul went on the run, his woman would have to drive him.
Oh my god!
Is he on the run? These are the questions that are still up in the air.
What
all you gotta do is search Colorado.
Is that Jennifer? Who's kissing his stomach? He's kissing a girl's stomach.
What? What are you talking about?
He's got a new clip out where there's some chick standing behind him at his usual spot, and she's wearing a half shirt, and he starts kissing all over her stomach and trying to lift up his shirt. Her shirt.
Cute.
I think it
could be the other way around. That'd be worse.
Don't lift up.
She's just getting the belly button laying out.
And And I was thinking, what is that?
G, did you
weirdo?
hear me ask about his cases?
No.
I'm not sure. I think that G is not maybe not aware of why it's not as stupid as he's framed it up in that comment.
What happened?
Yeah, no, she was on the. This was
Mhm.
years ago when she was on their own. This was 2017, and into 18 some. No, I think it was just 2017.
No, 8 months going on the run. Nobody would do that for Paul. Nobody. That trumps everything he throws out there off the top. Another reason he should be jealous of you. Bitches go hard for you. Not that she's a bitch.
Who? Oh yeah. No, I think everybody understood that you're using it in the generic way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be clear because sometimes they get it twisted up here.
You think?
Or they love to twist it.
Yeah,
Paul,
either
why do
way
you
it's
have my
gonna happen.
Facebook blocked?
Give me your power. Paul, you
Put him
ate
on
everybody's
panel to
power.
put us back.
He does really want to be the topic of conversation everywhere, but like
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not so worried about him that I'm going to try to avoid it. Right? Like I'm not trying to.
Put him on panel and put us backstage.
I don't understand.
He's welcome
why
to come on panel.
It doesn't come up.
He knows that he's welcome to come on anytime.
If
I
he's
always
so
treat him. I
confident-
always treat him with much more courtesy than he treats me or than anybody else. Really, I don't think I've never backstaged him. I actually default the other way and be more tolerant.
Oh, Paul. Oh, Dave.
I'm going to do a poll.
Yeah, do a poll. I like the polls. Suck.
Well, I can't.
Oh my god.
Can't do it on
Paul,
my phone.
You are a hot mess, boy. You really are.
I still am not sure what happened with his case, but he's not either.
Well, he's on the run.
I mean, that's the best option I can think of. The alternative is he's not on the run,
Which
He has to be because he won't drive. And you don't drive when you're scared to get pulled over.
True.
Because even if you
Yeah.
don't have a license, you'll still drive. I did all the time. Like, fuck it, YOLO. Let's see who wins today.
Oh yeah, I just renewed my license. Actually, I didn't even realize that it was expired. Not today. It was last week. Where the fuck is my buttons?
you get free registration for being a CI, don't you?
I don't think so. You probably just get away with whatever the fuck you want to do.
Going
As
back
long
to
as you keep making up names.
is there a reward for Paul? Good question, Tony.
What's the question?
Is there a
Is there a
reward
reward?
for Paul in?
All I could find was the arrest records. I didn't look very hard. Actually, I didn't look at all. Who knew? That information would probably be public somewhere. I didn't look at all. They found me.
You would have to just call Monograph and ask him. I'm sure he knows.
I'm sure he does.
Or Joshua Jones.
I already asked Josh Jones to run some names for me, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, he pissed me off last night
Why?
because he was talking about he got personally involved on a Discord argument, and to get even with the person, he was using his official capacity to pull records on him. To try to
Oh yeah, that's
get
pretty
back at him.
shitty.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. It's because I was watching myself on. I was trying to put a poll in Cynthia's stream.
Mm.
All right, now I'm in the right place.
Dear Paul says, desperate for money, they turn their brother in. There are good people.
I didn't say they're
I don't. But
most,
Paul
and I think
is
is
talking.
I don't know what that virtue is. Most people who snitch are not paid informants. I don't think they're trying to escape their own problems.
Yep.
I had a private attorney, so that was. What was my question? Oh yeah.
Don't know.
Where's Venus? Venus was here earlier. Praline, are you still mad at me? I don't even know why you lost your temper on me in Jack's chat. But what else?
It
People
don't
get
take
mad over
much.
the craziest things.
Yeah, it don't take much, Cynthia.
For real. You could sneeze wrong and people get mad. What's going on? Did Bex come over to your panel one day, Flo, last week?
Yes.
What's going on, like with
She's
I don't know. I
programmed
treated it
in.
as good faith. The first time I ever talked to Bex, I went on her panel and we actually had a really good conversation. It was just the two of us. We talked for quite a while. I think I enjoyed it. I think she did as well. But no, she'd never been on my panel. And then we had the thing where I, got in her business a little bit and then told her I thought she was a coward. And then, yeah, the other night was the first time she came on panel. I was a little bit suspicious of it, but I try to treat things as good faith until I know that they're not, which is what I did. In hindsight, I sort of think it was maybe just some strategic cupcaking. But I can't.
Cynthia's desperate for gossip, talk, and drama. Sim
Ooh.
states perfect co-host. No, I was gone for a week and I popped up and then I saw Venus and Bex going at it. And then Venus was playing a clip of Snaps, and Snaps was talking about you, Paul. And he was like, Paul will always talk trash about Flo, Cynthia, whatever.
Snaps always talk shit about Paul behind his back.
I know. He was like, but he'll never talk shit about Monograph. If you notice, Snaps is really obsessed with Monograph. Snaps wants to be Monograph's co-host. I
don't know what it is, but something. Yeah, he gets fixated on people.
No, Flo is. I vote no.
The fun thing about this poll is it'll also give me a rough idea of how many people are.
Well, what's the poll question? I can't see it.
It says, "Is Paul successfully fucking with Flo?" And the two options are yes and no.
That's a no-brainer.
What's going on?
Much love to you too, Mark. Can we get hormonal and bitch? I'm not mad no more. I don't stay mad. I get over shit quickly.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Praline.
Oh, is that at you?
Yeah, she was mad at me in the chat.
Over at Jack.
Hey, Em. Come up, Em.
Paul, you think nobody can see when you're trying to construct narratives instead of read them?
Oh, Paul.
Ego unbound.
Can we see the Love Doctor clip again?
Which Love Doctor clip?
Them have value.
Oh yeah, we can. Oh yeah, we've got some Paul clips. We ran through all the Tommy.
Oh yeah,
ones.
let's play that. And then
do we?
I have more. I have more Tommy clips because Tommy's a more entertaining person, honestly.
Then you can play your clip how you're
some frat boy douche with an earring who wants all the time, energy, attention, and resources. He's the hit. He's got an earring, and he's got that frat boy douchey college vibe that you all love so much at the sports bars. And he wears his hat backwards and makes little quips, so he's cool to hang out with.
What is the read on that one? What do you read in that one? Since I put
he wasn't cool. in school. Nobody liked him. He's really felt some type of way. It's like a classic TV show. He spends his whole life.
I think that was code for I want to sleep with him.
I hope not. I mean, we can't rule it out, but I hope it's not.
Oh my gosh. Gross.
Paul, that's not what you meant, is it?
Someone like Flow State is going to be power hungry and controlling and want to be egoic.
Wow.
I think that's all. That's all of them.
Cynthia's explaining herself. What? Daddy watching your BA. What a BAMS. I don't know. Why is everybody a daddy? I don't get it.
It's really embarrassing, isn't it?
It's sad because I saw someone in the comments earlier say, is it 1991? Like, why are these people using these cut downs? And some of them are kind of lame. He did bang dudes in jail. What?
You know what? I've heard that a few times.
Paul, is that true? I'm no judgment free. No judgment.
Yeah, I mean, I already think Snafu is maybe a little bit closeted. That's why he's so angry, especially towards women.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you in the unemployment. I love how he always thinks I'm unemployment.
Do they pay people to speak at unemployment lines?
You know he secretly wants to hang out with you, right?
Come up, Paul. If you can come up here. He knows that he's welcome up here. He just has to get off of his douchey shit.
Paul, I'll be on my best behavior.
I don't believe that.
I don't either, really, but I can only speak for myself, you know. It's not, if you want to make friends, it's not a good strategy to go in and try to like show that you don't give a fuck and that they're, I mean, you just gotta, at 34, you should be past the kicking girls in their shin and running away phase of making friends.
This is where you need to play the Cynthia clip.
Oh yeah, I have that clip too. I took it too.
Good, you deserve it.
Go back to attacking and hating. Out of
how gangster are you, cuz? Huh? How gangster are you, nigga? I'll show you how gangster I am, nigga.
It's Paul.
I know.
That was too
and this one is for the daddy name that I just bounced.
You are destroyed forever. You are destroyed forever. And you will never be back. And you'll never be back.
Never be back.
Oh, I thought he said never be black. Oh.
Wow.
I mean, that would also be
been accused of being an octoroon. Do y'all know what an octoroon is?
No.
What?
An octoroon is somebody who is 1/8 black. And if
I
you
had
look
no
at his
idea.
raw features, he does tend to have black features.
What's a quarter?
Mm-hmm. Teddy Spaghetti told me every time I see Paul to call him an octoroon.
He made that shit up, then.
No, I looked up the definition. I had to
That's a
look
real
up
word.
the definition. I love how 500-pound people called people who weigh at least 300 pounds less than them fat. Look at the bright side. Paul doesn't have issues with someone stealing his identity. Who wants that identity?
Where's
somebody thought? See, somebody in my chat thinks that Paul's a black albino.
Jeff has interesting thoughts on Paul. What's up, Jeff? You didn't stream today, did you?
No, Chris did on his channel.
What's his channel? I need his channel link because I have not been tagging him in any of the streams I do.
He just started today. Today was his first stream. Let me find it.
A Plague of Arrow or something like that.
Yeah. Actually, it's under his name, Satir Iconoclast. I'll put it in the private.
A quadroon. I knew some when I was younger. I knew some twins who were a quarter black. They were so fucking hot.
I got some black.
Yeah, you do. Right on. Thank you.
Hey, Frank. Hey, Grant.
Would Paul be cooler if we found out he had black in him? Would that make his coolness go up, or would he still
He
say
might.
the same?
I'm not sure he doesn't. I can't believe y'all still talking about it.
Yeah. I don't have any agenda or topic, and I'm not trying not to talk about him. I hear a lot of people say that, like, why are you talking about it? Because I'm not trying not to. I recognize that it would, if I wanted to freeze him out altogether, that would probably be a more effective way to like just end him as a thing in my life. I'm not that. It's just not that big to me, you know. I get more enjoyment from doing a little shit talking than I do from knowing that he's not getting any attention. Not really trying to hurt the guy, I guess. I'm not opposed to it.
I like talking shit about him because I know he'll never come up and defend himself. And that's always funny to me when people are such cowards. They won't even defend themselves.
He's such an easy target, I guess.
Yeah, that is true.
I look for more of a challenge.
Who? Snafu's. I mean, Snafu's taking himself out of the game as somebody to play with. Although I don't know why Paul isn't getting the same treatment, because he is definitely snitching by proxy.
Oh, hey, Paul. Look who showed up.
Yeah, he's been down there.
Oh, okay.
He can drive up.
I just think it's like really beta to like troll people's channels all the time to see what they're saying about you, or try to go on their channel and make points. I mean, if you have your own channel, just do your own thing. Like,
or just join the panel. It is pretty beta. Oh yeah, Heavy Metal Copeland's dope. But even the trolls, like we gotta nurture good trolling and freeze out bad trolling.
Paul, I'm not on stream beating my chest all the time, acting like I'm alpha, either.
Which is a lot more of an alpha behavior. I mean,
I'm a sigma. I don't give a shit about any of that status hierarchy stuff.
Nothing is less alpha, I'd say, than calling yourself an alpha.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's transparently overcompensation.
Gee, he's always rocking.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Am I rocking again? I don't even know.
She said, "Oh, he's rocking again," like it indicates something.
I'm not even the only one on this panel that stems. By far, am I not the only one?
Is that what it's called? Are you talking about me? Do I stem? What's stem mean?
It's
something autistic people do. It's
something
like
they do.
Who else does it on the panel?
Hank twirls in his chair.
Okay.
Who was it the other day? I saw.
You meant the panel at large.
Chris does his knee when he's sitting with his leg up. You can see him.
I wonder would you consider smoking cigarettes a stem?
No.
It could be. I used to do. I smoked for a little while, especially when I went out. It gave my hands something to do. I was like,
if you just sat there whirling it constantly, it might be.
What about the thing I do with the butterfly knife? Where'd that go?
Now that's a stem.
They have stem toys. Like you see autistic people with the little stem toys you can buy.
I got a bunch of them.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I got mine right here. Is this a stem
devices.
toy? Is a Rubik's Cube a stem?
I hate Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah.
They're so frustrating.
All you have to do is
You
learn
have to know the algorithm.
I never learned it. I don't want to spend that much time into
for.
things.
Oh. We'll just peel the stickers off.
I usually
That's
just
what they
break it
make.
apart.
Yep, use a hammer. Solves it
I
every
sway.
time.
When I'm standing up, I sway back and forth, like left to right.
Who the hell took my?
It's just like your nervous system discharging its energy or
Yeah,
soothing.
overactive.
I don't even know if I think that's overactive. I think that sitting still for long ass periods of time is unnatural.
I do too.
Mhm.
I do too. Like all of this, like Buddhist meditation, silence, and stillness, and find the inner. I can't do any of that.
Mark Jones, I see you back there. It says that your device is not connected though, so sometimes it takes a second for the camera to load. But if you're wondering why you're not on stage,
Can we see the Utopia video?
not yet. We haven't. When I was younger, I my hair was longer and I would twirl it, which, yeah.
Well, that's just feminine qualities there.
It was a fairly feminine thing, but I didn't give a fuck. But I mean, I didn't.
Ooh, hard hat. You should come up on panel because you are naked.
Ooh.
I was gonna go to the rodeo and really just meet gays all day at the rodeo, and it snowed, and they canceled.
You were at the rodeo today?
I wanted to go on Monday.
Oh,
and just what a great place to meet gays.
I already know that if I ever find myself single again, I'm gonna wait for the Magic Mike things to come to town. Then I'm just gonna when the show gets out, I'm just gonna stand outside.
Oh yeah, that's hey. Women used to do that at the strip clubs. They would dress like women did that at the strip clubs. We'd always have to kick them out. They would dress like entertainers, and then they would come in with the jacket, then they would take it off, and then they would try to steal the customers from the entertainers.
Were they hookers? Probably.
They were always getting beat up by the entertainers. They did not play that game.
No, strippers
could hit a nerve blow.
With what?
He's calling you Taylor now.
Oh, that's fine. That's my name.
He's always has a nerve.
Mark Jones, we got the same thing going on. We got I see you back there, but your device is not connected.
That's insecurity.
Hey, Joe, I was wrong about the body
Joe's
count.
over.
Time to set it down.
What was the body count, Flo?
What body count? We got you.
In Mississippi.
Oh, the prisons.
Okay, there was 215 bodies so far, but they said it also said there's 672 unmarked graves.
Is that the jail, the Mississippi thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
how would
the
they
body
know that? If they're unmarked, how would they know that?
That's
very
my
good.
question.
Very good.
They have
I
pictures.
mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but gee,
we know. What's up, Mark?
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, Mark.
Not much, just hanging.
This is your first time on stage or on panel, isn't it?
No, I was on OTWs the other day.
Oh yeah, but that doesn't count.
That's a classic, Joe.
Avatar.
I just thought I'd come up here. You guys need something better to talk about than Paul.
I agree. What you got for us?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you guys are talking about.
Well, now we're talking about Paul.
Well, no, they're talking about stripping and Rubik's cubes and
Oh yeah.
Strippers are
bad
bad
bitches.
bitches. They will-
rodeos.
Yeah, strippers will fuck
hot?
you up.
I went to a strip club. I went to the Hustler Club once because I was a part of a wedding party, and my friend taught me to go in.
Mhm.
And this girl, she was selling like little shots in the test tubes, and I bought one. And she made me drink it out of her boobs. She wouldn't just hand it to me. Stuck it. She goes, no. She was a black girl. She had a big afro. She's like, baby, you gotta drink it here.
You
And
poor
she
guy.
put it in her
Put it
boob,
right
and then
here?
she leaned her boob over and poured it in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's how you sound right now.
Me?
She made me drink it out of her boob.
Yeah, because I like to sip it. I don't drink my shot. I wanted to just hold the test tube.
You're not making it any less.
I only been one.
Yeah,
I didn't go back.
I can't wait to get my dick wet.
That looked like the kind to go to strip club right there.
Oh my gosh, that was
That's
too
the sort
funny.
of dude that would think the stripper really likes him.
Yep.
There are that?
I know. There's one in every fucking group.
What? I
Yeah.
know. No, man, for real. No, for real. She likes me. Like, we're really having deep conversation over there. She really likes me.
Yeah,
You
well,
got
course I'm
friends
gonna
like
go to
that.
$80
you
a
know.
song to have that conversation.
You got friends like that in real life where women are playing them for their bread and they will just act like they have no idea what's going on. They're content
Not
with it.
anymore. I don't. When I did when I was younger, when we were all younger.
Yeah.
I remember,
I
I
got
remember when
friends who still do that dumb shit.
I remember I'm still drinking. I went into a strip club before they actually opened so I could get a drink. Sitting there at the bar talking to one of the girls, and the more we talked, we realized we were cousins. It was
No
weird.
way.
Yes
Small
way.
town.
Yes
I used to
way.
live in strip clubs.
You what?
Used to live in strip clubs.
I like
Yeah,
them. I think
I was,
they're fun.
I was
I
a
was
painter for
15.
30 years. If you
I used
needed a
to.
job, you just went to the strip club and found painters. Hey, you looking for help?
What kind of jobs would they have you do?
Clean up.
Oh, I've done
Clean up.
commercial painting, industrial painting, home painting,
You do destruction in the
residential.
parking lot.
What's
I
that?
used to
Cynthia?
paint drywall in like Walmarts and Myers when they build them new.
Sometimes she really do like you though.
She the type of chick that had 4 kids and 5 different baby dads. How does that happen? She don't even know.
She don't know.
Who is that little kid talking about?
I'm hiring a kite.
I don't remember.
Makes 2 of us.
Well, let
Funny
me
as
join
hell,
you.
though.
Talking
Yeah,
about
I'll join you.
the EBT, the sort of chicks EBT likes. Who's EBT's homie? That was anybody here? Chuck, were you here when that dude was like, "Why did I get a membership to your channel if I was asleep?"
Oh, that was Stephen David or David Stephen or whatever
Even
his name is.
David. Yeah. He got hit with a carpet bomb with the free membership gift.
Mm-hmm. Got caught.
And it just the minute that it hit him, he was in the chat going, "Why did I get a membership to your channel when I'm not even subscribed? I was asleep."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. Lindsay, have you never been to a strip club?
What?
She says,
I was
speculating what they smell like.
I know
when
you
I
have
first
some
started
questions
working
for
at
those
one.
ladies.
They smell like broken dreams and money.
They smell like cocoa butter and weave.
Is it fucked up that
That's actually
Lindsay's
not.
less hot to me because she hasn't been to a strip club? That's fucked up on my part, right?
That makes her less hot.
It's
Makes her less hot.
Oh,
Lindsay,
No, makes
how
her
you
smart.
explain that?
well, there's always room for improvement.
That's me. That's my skate.
Oh, look at her trying to regain her hotness in your eyes.
She's
Did you
not
get some
hard on
snow,
the eyes.
Chuck?
You know what smells bad that is jail. Nobody ever. You hear people ask all the time, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" Nobody ever asks, "Hey Taylor, what does it smell like in jail?"
It's the worst,
Open
bro.
butt.
Especially on intake. It is the worst.
And
First
that
thing
is
you want
that
to do
is
is take a shower because they
huh?
smell like that place when you walk out.
Yeah, it's gross. You get change into that fucking jumpsuit and then walk back. And where I was at, we had 24/7 lockdown, no windows. Right. We're just locked in a 30 by 30 cinder block.
Wow, niggas pot and shit and
I did
all
3
that
weeks because I would sign no other paperwork. Told them to stick it up their ass. I wasn't contracting with it.
What do you mind if I ask what for? You can tell me to fuck off if you don't want to.
Caught with marijuana, cocaine. I was in a car riding with it, riding dirty. Got pulled over, hauled us all in. I told him to prove any of the drugs were mine.
And you wouldn't sign the. What did they want? Do you remember what they wanted you to sign? I'm trying to think what I even signed or didn't sign. I don't even remember. To like,
I used to sign everything.
They want you to sign shit going in and going out.
Steve, shout out to Steve for the 20
shit.
memberships.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
Rain.
Steve.
Thanks,
Hold
Steve.
on. I got a clip for him. Got a clip for him.
Yeah.
You simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. So
That's not that one worked out nicely.
You need to find one that says "Make it rain" or "Made it rain." Or
I know.
something.
I need to do it. I just haven't yet. And I was using the Snafu Snaps one as a placeholder, but I got to get on that. I don't even know what's. Sometimes I upload little clips. I forget what they are because I don't label them. Oh, I know this guy.
I'm really angry at doctors who love to play with baby boys' penises and cut them off.
What?
It's a reasonable thing to be angry at. I'm gonna
We
cut
got
off.
no idea what you're saying.
No, there's no context.
All right, well, that makes sense then.
Well, that makes sense to you, Joe.
Yay.
Hey, at least I ain't got kicked off panel yet.
Yeah,
Keep
watch
it up,
your
Jack.
clip, Chuck, where he
Oh.
kicked you off.
Teddy Spaghetti has an issue. Oh wait, Flo's not paying attention. Teddy,
What's Teddy's issue?
your earring. He wants me to talk to you about it.
Oh yeah, he's not the only one that's brought that
And
up.
people, and he thinks that you would be a lot cooler without them.
He does. Without the earrings at all, or just not the glow in the dark ones?
I just had sex. I'm about to eat nachos. It's the greatest moment of my life. Unless you screw it up with whatever it is you're about to say.
Let me see him. I can tell you.
I'm fake. Okay, I'm okay with that.
They look a little weird.
Hey, if you want
gay.
to wear
glow in
jewelry,
the dark.
do you?
They glow in the dark. I don't expect. They're not going to be here permanently. What happened is, we were at the mall, see, and I went into Hot Topic.
I like Hot Topic.
What was his name?
Oh God, Chuck. Coming with the dad joke. No, but I'm gonna probably go back to the regular black ones.
Are they?
That's what I do.
Gauged, are they gauged or is it an earring? He's eating.
Both.
Don't let
Katie, I'm
another
hungry
man
too.
rattle you about what you wear or what you do. Do
No, I'm not
you?
I appreciate it.
Spaghetti kind of dictates a lot.
Is
Very
that where,
white.
isn't
Thank
where's
you
the
for
beach
becoming a
place?
new member as well. You will now enjoy as many custom emojis as you want.
Oh, I forget to use them.
Mark, you've still got 2 spots backstage. I'm kicking the other one. If for some reason you disappear, that's what happened. Come back.
Right on.
All right, we're all still here.
People shouldn't talk about anything they haven't seen themselves. What's he
What?
talking
I'm
about?
sorry. Say that again.
It says people shouldn't talk about anything they haven't seen themselves.
What if
That's
they read about it?
nonsense.
What if they
Yeah,
read
that's
about it?
yeah, that's
Is
nonsense.
that Joe Cool up above me, by the
It
way?
is.
Oh,
That's good, fam.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, for
Who said
fuck's
that people
sake.
shouldn't talk
Who
about things unless
the
they've
fuck is...
done them?
That was... Well, that was the C.
Oh.
Whatever. No, is the top right? I don't know.
Oh, if you
Shit,
haven't been to a
Yep.
strip club, you shouldn't talk about one.
I don't know. Hey, I just read the thing. I said, hey, we're talking about some motherfuckers that want to talk some smack on YouTube. I'm here. I saw Flow State. I've been on Flow State before. So
It's really a pretty chill. I'm in a pretty chill mood. I am still the hardest motherfucker in these YouTube streets.
You're full of shit. I call bullshit right there.
Are you harder than me, sir?
Well, that depends. How weak are you?
Well, do you have a picture of you bent over humping the refrigerator with your pants down?
A refrigerator? Why are you humping a refrigerator? What the hell is going on here?
You've never humped a refrigerator?
No.
Yeah, he's
Hump
more
my
macho.
couch. Look.
Why do you have a gun? You're acting so negative. One less negative person on this earth.
Maybe, but never a refrigerator or the couch.
Hold on, here's something really hard. I gotta let the cat out of the room. It's meowing.
How you been, Joe? How you doing?
I've been doing well, actually, man. It's been freezing out here, though. I'm in Colorado. It's been freezing, bro. Like,
Yeah, you guys
I don't
getting
know,
it, man. Yeah.
negative 20 something, I think.
I'm glad I'm in Cali. I'm telling you that. Man.
What part?
Northern California.
Oh.
Above
The weather's nice.
Sacramento.
California's beautiful, but I don't know that I'd want to live there right now. There are some days when I buy cigarettes and
Look, I don't want anyone to come to California. You all stay the fuck out of California. We
I know,
already got
right?
too many
Hey,
fucking
see,
people.
what's up? Yeah.
Hey, Californians need to stay the hell out of Texas.
No, I want them all to leave California so my cost of living goes down and everyone else's goes the fuck up a little bit.
You guys got beautiful weather.
Being honest.
That might be due to your politicians more than your neighbors.
Well, you know,
I renewed my lease and they lowered my rent. That has never in my life happened to me.
You renewed what? What's good, AC?
I live in a very red county.
I see you meet some intellectual white folks, and all of a sudden
Not these niggas. Not these niggas.
Is that how you view us? All right.
Nah, Joe knows I'm fucking around.
I'm coming up in the world. Better start drinking with my pinky out.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, but
What's good?
Great for fun.
What's good, AC?
That's good, Joe, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, so.
I know. Actually, I was over there. I don't know. It seemed recent to me, man. I get high a lot, though. But, I don't know. I got...
Get out of here.
Not you, Joe. I had to see Jamie in game over 2, and that was great.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's no, in response to that comment, there's no intellectual agenda here. I'm perfectly happy to have videos about whether or not you can have butt sex in the ocean, in the scuba suit, all sorts of topics.
If you're able to, or if you're allowed to, why wouldn't you?
Able to, if you're able to.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Ocean, why wouldn't you be able to?
When Joe's hanging out at the shit show, I don't even think we get that far into the conversation before it turns into a fuck you, no, fuck you, fuck your mom. Yeah, it turns into that shit real fucking quick.
Joe's been paneling a lot of hours already.
They give me a break, though, man. The shit show goes in on motherfuckers all day long. And when I come over there, they'll smoke weed with me and play music and even pontificate, which is not normal. You're right. So
did you just use the word pontificate, you son of a bitch? What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck?
He thinks he's sophisticated.
Yeah, I'll be pontificating. AC, I'm going to send you a link to the intellectual motherfuckers. One of my buddies, New Guru. I'm sure you know him. He just started on He texted me. Yeah,
the bigger the word, the less smart you sound to me. As far as I'm concerned.
Last stream, I taught people what a hot rail was.
Hot rail?
What,
yeah, you want to talk about intellectual. I taught
drug
people what a hot rail is last stream, so that's pretty good. Do you know what a hot rail is, Joe?
No, it sounds like some drug related.
Is that like a third rail?
That sounds like a Seattle sandwich or whatever. I don't know. Like
none of you people. Does anybody on the panel know what a hot rail is, or do I need to?
No, is it something drug related?
I'm guessing it's a bad shot of cocaine.
I'm thinking it's some kind of sexual position or something. A hot rail.
It sounds.
It's all the above. Uncle Fatty knows what's up.
Real damn.
It's
Must
when
be
you
that gay
take your
stuff.
you take your hold on. How did I explain it last time? I'm trying to dance around the algorithm. Where'd my prop go?
It's a
Cock,
sexual
you take your
position.
cock.
It's a sexual position.
You take your tube,
Yeah.
and before you do this,
Oh yeah, it is dry.
you torch up one end so that
You're
while
flaming
you're
hot.
hitting it, you're smoking too.
You're flaming hot. Yeah, you're getting the flaming hot.
So who says we're not intellectual?
That would
All right.
explain the brain damage.
I'm gonna
Dude,
cut out over.
that-
I'm gonna
that-
cut
yeah,
out.
that's what I said. It sounded like the Seattle, like the seagull sand. It's the sand vagina. It is totally like you got to dip your dick in the sand and then you screw her type of thing. It's like totally wrong on so many levels. But
Yeah, I'm gonna cut out, man. I
like-
gotta go meet somebody.
it's Chicago.
Take it easy.
Take care, Jeff.
Or the Dirty Sanchez, right?
I see what you're getting at, but it is not those things. Turns out I'm pretty vanilla in my. Nothing will make you feel like vanilla like scrolling through the categories on a porn website. It's like I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, that's fine. I don't like that. I don't like that.
And now, how many are there? How many categories are there on a porn site? Could you tell me that?
I could not
There's
tell you.
more
Those are
porn
different
categories than there are genders.
Well, there's only two genders.
There's
So.
an infinite amount of fucked up shit that people could think of.
And that's pretty easy to beat, right, Flo?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, two genders. There's just two genders. I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like round earth, flat earth stuff. I'm
Speaking of porn categories, welcome butthole winker.
Hi, I'm taking a shit. Is that all right?
Are you? That's fine.
Oh Lord.
Okay. I'm almost done.
Are you?
I'm pushing, baby.
All right.
I'm pushing.
We're pulling for you. Where'd he go?
Good grunt. Get a grunt in there.
I'm sure I got a clip somewhere here that would. Damn, I'm too slow on the draw.
Isn't that neat?
That's sex, not
Hey, that's a porn category too, right there, right, Flo?
Pooping?
You need.
Yep.
You need
Yeah, it is.
the
Actually, it's
Utopia
several.
toilet
There's
bowl.
several categories that would fit under there.
All negative emotions will be relinquished. All feeling will neutralize. You will be able to live a fully functional, satisfactory experience in a completely safe utopia.
Damn, Jackie, why are you on YouTube if you have all of that?
You go, Jeff.
What?
Who's she trying to get off? Yeah, what's the who are you trying to get off, Lindsay?
Oh, yeah. The price schedule fees. Oh, he's gone already.
Oh, but
yeah. The prices are in the chat. If anybody doesn't know, you can. Well, here I'll just put up the banner. More details in the chat. There we go. Guys, I'm eating. You got to do it.
Sorry.
What do we think, Chuck?
I'm behaving myself. I don't want to get
Okay, what do you think about the our boy from Australia who turned himself in?
He was
What was
already
that?
he was already facing charges. He said that beforehand. He didn't. I think they just blew him off and told him to wait till court.
No, that's not what happened at all. He probably
already
would've-
facing.
He had not received charges, and being charged with something and confessing to something are different.
He still hadn't received charges yet.
He had not been charged. He went in and voluntarily confessed to not just. He also said that he was growing it. He said he's growing pot to give to his friends who couldn't afford to get it from a legal place. Like it just. He confessed and he He upsold the confession. It just, man,
But
it fucking
Flo,
makes me crazy.
He's 75 years old.
He was on Talcos.
Nicka fucking Lena. You're not the hardest. You're not harder than me. How dare she?
You definitely have a hard fucking head, Flow State. That's
Shut up, nerd!
Got a hard head and a soft ass.
But yeah, man. I tried my ass off to save that dude from himself last night. I couldn't do it.
He didn't hurt himself. He's 75 years old. What do you think?
He's 75 years old. He got himself wedged. They're going after his buddy, right? He turned himself into a perfect weapon to throw at the friend. I looked up the laws there. He's looking at up to 15 years.
Once he gets a lawyer, all they got to do is claim dementia. At 75, he'll be okay.
He's gone for the rest of his life. I mean, it's not much. I mean,
maybe he wants to go to jail.
70.
He's panicking. I've seen it before when you're in that.
He might even die before he even gets to jail. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
I mean,
serious?
if he's in good enough health to be flying planes and farming pot, he's probably in good enough shape to survive through court.
Well, he got arrested for that too.
Hey, I've seen perfectly healthy 35-year-olds just die right there on a march in the military. So you know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter. When it's your time, it's your time. But at 75, it's ticking a lot quicker than if he was like 25, right? So
yeah, right. At 75, I mean, I don't know. I hope to not live out the rest of my life and die in a prison as an old man. That sounds miserable. I mean, it is miserable. That place sucks.
Unless
well, you know from experience where I don't. I've never gone. I've been in a holding cell for a little bit, and then I got released like 3 or 4 hours later. But that's my extent with the prison system. So
yeah, and I never made it. I never went to prison. I spent like 4 months in county jail, which I'm told is worse than prison.
It can be. It depends upon the county, right? Every county is different.
What do you know?
Nicolina. I knew I recognized that name. Oh, I thought I was on mute. My bad.
She's searching.
Nicolina, you're welcome to join the channel. If you want, even though she's Easy's arch enemy. I haven't paid enough attention to their beef though to really know to know what's going on. I've
never seen it before.
Easy speak easy.
Arch enemy.
That's my words, not his. Yeah, that's my words.
I have a nemesis on YouTube.
Nemesis is a lesser degree than arch enemies.
Yeah, so the arch enemy, you know what? I'm going to call him my nemesis that from now on. He's my arch enemy. Oh, I like that. Thank you, Flo. I'm still on that one.
You got it.
Arch enemy.
That was quick.
Bro, he is not my arch nemesis. I think he's an incel cuck. I laugh at him.
All right, I retract it. You guys are not arch enemies. I don't know what you got going on. Maybe you're flirting. Maybe I don't know.
Oh no, thank you.
She said arch nemesis.
Right, that's a whole different category.
I said he is not. He is not my.
Well, and I retracted it.
No, okay. No, I think for me he's just a very insecure 31-year-old that has there's nothing original about him.
We don't, yeah, but I don't want to shit talk him. He's a buddy and he's not here.
He was so mad at you the other day.
I know, and honestly, like I apologize. I don't blame him at all for being mad. Really,
you know that he got the whole verbal combat idea from the Thorpes, right?
Well, it's not about stealing the idea, right? The blood sports panel is an old formula. It was more about like literally stealing the Mortal. I had the Mortal Kombat imagery. It was the same time, same night. Like it looked like, it looked like I was being a douche for sure. I was just being careless, really.
You said that. I heard you come out with that little 4-minute video after that. You know, I've watched you a little bit. I can't say that I'm a huge Flow State fan. I catch them when I catch them. No, I know. And this is my first time on your panel, so I'm a virgin. Thank you. Treat me nice. Don't bruise me up, big boy. I know you're so hard.
He has lube.
You're the hardest.
He has
lube.
I have spit. I'm a gentleman. I'll spit on it first.
I would, I guess I just don't take him seriously because he really doesn't know how to debate. But I would love to see him.
Did you guys have a debate?
That you can't debate with him. He interrupts. He calls names. He yells.
That's not true.
You're talking about yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Vegan Gains, and that was
every time he's on anybody's panel in my community, he just is completely inappropriate.
And what community are you in? The true crime community? What community are you in?
Drama.
Drama. Oh, that's what all these communities are.
Okay,
so
whether they acknowledge it or not.
Hey, I did not get to you through the drama. Yeah, maybe I did.
Drama that's just what people do when they get together.
Maybe I did.
Human nature.
Maybe I did get to you, Flow State, through drama. Because I've been watching YouTube for like 6 years, and I started off like really heavy in the 1A community.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you do auditing?
No, I'm not an auditor at all. But I know my rights. I learned a lot from them. So, and that's why Trump's doing so good, because right now he's like, oh, I'm a victim. The government's coming after me, and everyone can relate because we all have our government coming after us. And that's a valid point.
Is the government just randomly coming after you for no reason, just for fun?
That's the blue till it happens to you. And Joe Cool would say the same thing, and everyone else that I
just sitting at home, hanging out on YouTube, and suddenly here comes the
Jeff is the normie around these parts.
Have you ever got swatted? I hope you never do, because that's exactly what happens with the SWAT.
Did they just pick your name out of a phone book?
Can I ask a question? Define swatting.
It's where, like, let's say your arch nemesis comes after you and knows your address and calls that I've got a gun and I'm going to go ahead and kill my girlfriend here.
Correct. Yep, that is the proper swatting definition. Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, I never have. That shit's just
Have you seen Tim Pool? Tim Pool gets swatted all the time.
Yeah, I know about it. It hasn't happened to me, knock on wood. I don't know. It's always it's never not a possibility. Even if you're off YouTube, somebody could still do that to you. Of course, it's way less likely, but
yeah, but how many times have people accused me of swatting them, and I've never had anyone
Okay,
swatted?
so I have a hard time with the cops just being able to do whatever they do because they got a call.
Well,
cops are
cops
assholes.
do that. Bad cops are, yes.
They're all bad cops.
Because they get a call. They get a call. That's their excuse. They can go through 6 months of education, become a cop, and say, we got a call, and do whatever the fuck they want. Because they got a call.
So in my area, the officers, which is the state of Michigan, but in my actual area, I'm not talking about like Flint, Detroit, Saginaw, but they require an associate's or bachelor's in criminal justice before they go into the academy.
Really?
For new hires. My brother was required to go through, he had to go to college before he could go to the academy.
That's crazy. And we said the word cop 3 times, and just like that, we've got our cop here.
We have a cop.
So I heard the word, so I'm going to come running.
He works for the State Department, basically violating people's non-rights because you don't have rights when you're abroad.
All right.
He violates them whether you're abroad or not.
Dude, I hope he knows his oath.
He doesn't care about it. Yeah.
What?
So Josh even though he is and stands for everything I'm against, I don't dislike him, which is weird. I want to dislike him, but I don't. I don't know why you do that to me, Josh.
It's mutual feeling.
It's
Because the same reason why you dragged me to the conspiracy theories and just stopped just short of the line, so I can't debate it.
Oh yeah.
Dick.
Because everything that I say, you can't actually find not everything, but you can't really find a lot of logical flaws in what I say.
Again, it's just sort of that line. To make the claim, you have to cross the line, right? You have to cross the line to make the claim, and you never do that. You just go right up to the line and just stop. And I'm like, you're a dick.
I'm a good line tester.
I can't hear Flo at all. Why come
Mike,
Joshua Jones is the only person I can hear?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think I have to reboot. I'll be right back.
Probably the battery.
So what is this bullshit about an oath?
An oath?
Yeah.
Did you have to take an oath?
You work for the State Department, right? Is that correct? Did I hear that wrong, or am I talking
correct.
out my ass?
Well, can I
Correct.
say, can I interrupt? While they may take an oath to protect and serve, I believe it was the 6th district that ruled that officers actually do not have to protect you. They do not have to take calls. They do not. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no legal obligation to protect life. There apparently
Zero.
is a legal obligation to protect property, though. That's weird.
Correct. Property is worth more.
I didn't know that about the legal obligation to protect property. Is that really?
Yeah, you can tax a property to death for life and not a person because they die.
Well,
That's kind of weird. I don't know what the Fed branch is a little bit different than the states, but the states are real big on it. I think the feds are kind of like a little bit on it, but it's still the same concept.
But Josh, you know what I'm talking about when I say oath. It means to the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah, no, you don't. If you run into my branch, you have no rights. You have no rights to due process. You have no rights to a lawyer, free speech. I can hog tie you, throw you in a cage. There's no fucking thing.
Are you with the FBI?
You probably got a union, so whatever. I call bullshit.
What is a union? I don't know. I guess a political party might be a political party might be close to that.
Might as well be. It's almost the same thing, right?
He lives in Korea.
Vietnam.
Close.
You know all the Asian countries look alike.
Yeah,
I knew it was one of the Asian countries we fought a war in. I couldn't remember which war it was.
Yeah, you just pick one. We've hit up a couple of them.
So what do you do? Can I ask, Josh? Without giving yourself
that's a little bit more complicated. 80% of it, or maybe 85% of it, really comes down to businesses. So like a U.S. business will negotiate contracts, agreements between another foreign business. Some industries are some industries require permission from the State Department to be able to work with it. An example would be say encryption, right? You can't, as a U.S. citizen, just willy-nilly do any kind of business or sell any type of item that operates within encryption. Again, there is a level, like there's commercial grade, and then you go up a little bit. And that's a big no-no. You have to ask permission. Sometimes the State Department has their interest and they'll kind of like piggyback off the interest of the business. And so they just kind of work that way. That's about 85% of the job is about that. And you got you get all kinds of weird assholes, protesters. They throw
When are
people
you
out of
going to
country.
let me look up some names through your database?
Which we got the same shit that your law enforcement in the state side has.
I don't know them. They don't like me.
I'm not giving you. I can't give you. Like hell, even I can't. Like my personal computer can't log into some shit. Like you have to actually go to the embassy to get into it. They won't allow it outside.
So you got
for good
access
reason
to the
too.
embassy, huh?
Yeah, it's a statey. Everybody is a statey. That's where you generally go if you need to do something.
Well, I have some names to give you to run through the database.
Yeah, will you run mine?
Yeah, let's get some names running through that. Let's get it.
First order of business: figuring out what happened to Paul Laporta's charges.
I have no idea who that is. I heard something about Australian dude got. Who was it?
Oh
what
yeah,
happened?
this motherfucker. So this dude got raided a couple times. He got busted with weed plants. He was not home. He denied the weed plants later, and then yesterday, or 2 days ago, he came into Jack's room and said that in the morning he was going to go turn himself in and tell them that they were his and confess, basically. And
what state? What state and raided by who?
He's in Australia. He lives in Queensland. He's looking at 15 years. I looked up. He hadn't even looked up the charges. He ignored my good advice. I told him, I said, I've been in the exact same situation that you're in now, just a different country and a different substance. You need to just not do what you're going to try to do tomorrow. But he did it anyways. And so today he came into Jack's panel. And of course, everyone's like, hey, how'd it go? He's like, great. It went great. I feel so much better now that I'm not lying. He's like, they had to act in their official capacity, but I feel way better that the lie's off my chest. I'm like, wait, so they charged you, right? Yeah. So you're looking at 15, and he up confessed. He also said that he was growing it to give to some of his friends or who couldn't afford to buy it the legal way. So he not only admitted to cultivation, he admitted to distribution too. It's just like I can't even with myself. This motherfucker. Dude's 75 years old, and he's gonna die in prison because he didn't have the balls to stick out the stress of being in that sort of law enforcement limbo.
So Australia, or did they take leniency toward age like the U.S. does?
I don't know how they treat age. They do take leniency towards first offenders or first time, so which would apply to him. But it's if he had under 5 plants, if he had 5 or fewer plants, he would have been a shoo-in for diversion. But he had like 50 plants, so yeah.
It just needs to be decriminalized, period.
Everything needs to be legal everywhere.
Everything.
Every single
heroin,
thing. Yep.
fentanyl, mushrooms, LSD, PCP, legalize all of it.
If we didn't have drug laws, we would not be having the fent problem that we have because people would just be doing their thing.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
You mean they would be doing other drugs?
If you're a heroin addict,
fentanyl.
If you're a heroin addict, you don't have a need to go find other drugs if you can just do your heroin.
So people are not doing fentanyl by choice. It's not because it's a certain type of high.
It's an opiate. It's just like any other opiate. So what happened is if the opioids were pushed into the market by the doctors, and then they tightened that up.
Yep.
And then when we withdrew from Afghanistan, the Taliban took back over and they shut down poppy production basically immediately and entirely. So heroin became scarce. And so it's all because of the illegality that people are scrambling for new ways to get the same high.
Well,
so if heroin was available again,
OxyContin killed enough damn people already that the doctors weren't prescribing it nearly as much because their asses are going.
Well, doctors weren't aware, hence why Pfizer was
bullshit.
Yeah,
Come
they
on, give me a fucking break.
Well, how do y'all know?
Yikes, bro! Can you turn your mic down?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't have to be so aggressive with your response.
I don't believe.
But when
they're
Oxy,
culpable.
Listen,
They're culpable.
when Oxy first came out, though, if you So my job is clinical research for investigational products. So that is any medication that has not been FDA approved. I have access where you can go to the original clinical trial, the phase 1, you can go to the phase 2, you can look at the phase 3, B, and 4. And if you looked at the actual data that they produced from these clinical trials, they lied.
Of course they did.
Pfizer lied. So
it's a Schedule 2
It
opiate
is.
narcotic. Everybody knows that those are addictive.
Well, think about this. Think about this
We-
for a second.
we-
Hold on, but
okay.
you gotta think about this. So if you go back to think about antibiotics. So antibiotics, you have generation 1, generation 2, 3. That's what they call them. When you're looking at penicillin as being the oldest, right? So if you go back and you look at opiates, and not opiates being used in the hospital, we're talking about opiates being prescribed. You're looking at things like Tylenol 3, Darvon, which did not have the same effects on the opiate binders as did Oxycontin. Oxycontin flooded the brain.
Right.
And it was highly addictive. But when a doctor, and so a lot of things came about because of Oxycontin, because they pushed it as being so safe, they manipulated their data with all of their phases, phase 1 through 4. Now, phase 3 to 4, that's when the FDA is giving you the approval. So they've manipulated all of this data into making it look as it was non-addictive. And doctors, while we think there should be gods,
I think
doctors really need pharmacists as their double checkers for medications. That's why you see hospitals now have a lot of clinical pharmacists that work alongside the doctors, do rounds with the doctors because of safety reasons. But back when
how long
Oxycontin
ago was that they first came on the market?
I want to say, if I recall correctly, it was in the 90s, mid 90s.
It was around like the 2000s or early
thought
mid
it was
2000s that it really started to peak.
Yes, that's when it peaked, but I think it was being pushed in Canada before it came to the United States, if I recall correctly from I did a research paper on this.
Okay.
So I want to say it was mid 90s, but it was Canada that started pushing it first. Then it came to the United States. Well, then you had the farm reps, and there weren't all the rules with pharmaceutical companies and the spiffs that they would give doctors for prescribing, the lavish gifts,
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Right. So a lot of that came about because of Oxycontin. So now we have tighter regulations. So yeah, we flooded the market. We got all of these people addicted to this opiate, and I want
Then
to
we
say
pulled
with
the rug
state,
out.
yeah. Then in the state of Michigan, I know we pulled the rug out and we got more restrictive and a lot more rules in the last probably 10 years, but more so the last 5, to where all these people went from being on these medications long term to having the rug pulled out from under them, being sent to an addictionist or a pain management specialist who is an anesthesiologist, where they're giving injections and they're giving other medications, and these people started looking for the drugs, and that was heroin, because when you turn on an opiate receptor in the brain, you have to slowly wean people to shut those receptors off in the brain. Otherwise, you've got detox, you have cravings. So we're actually to blame for the heroin and fentanyl epidemic because of the way we handled it.
Correct.
I don't understand how we're to blame. Were these former
Wow.
patients? Are these all former patients? Like,
When I
are they
say
not
we,
choosing to do the drug?
When I'm saying we, I'm saying healthcare professionals, like the healthcare
Are
industry
you
as a whole.
I guess I don't need to necessarily ask that question. Go
Not
ahead.
anymore. Okay.
She said research.
I can concede that, sure. Even let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that the first year of doctors didn't realize that they were addictive.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If I'm generous, and let's say doctors did not know they were addictive, even though they are opiates and they were a Schedule 2, What, a year? Do you think it takes a year for them to find out?
Oh, less than that.
Yeah.
I would
So
say,
I mean,
I would
I'm
say,
being generous and
I would
saying
say
that.
less than that.
Right. So I'm trying to be as generous as possible, and so that means that really, aside from a very small sliver of prescribing doctors, all of them knew about it in my mind.
I think so. I think they figured it out, but at that point, I don't think they knew what to do. And of course, you had your typical pill mills that would overprescribe for cash money patients, and
And the
there,
dollar means an awful lot to a doctor that's having to pay their way out of debt from going to college.
I'm telling you what, it's an epidemic that we created, and I say we because, okay, we can say they created out of ignorance and greediness on all parts. And it took pharmacists that started ringing the bell with the DEA. It wasn't the pharmaceutical companies, it wasn't the doctors, it was the pharmacists that started saying. And you also have to think that everything starts out as a C2, especially if you've manipulated your data. Now you can look at Ultram, also known as tramadol. That was not a C2. That was not an opiate. It was an opiate antagonist.
And that shit sucks.
Yeah.
And but it's addictive. So now it's a C2, and they
I
didn't
didn't get
know
addicted
that.
to it.
It is for people though. It becomes addictive for some people. Look at gabapentin, which is also known as Neurontin. People are now becoming addicted to this pain medication that's supposed to help with nerve pain. There is no antidote for reversal like there is for, opiates with Narcan. And people that are overdosing on gabapentin, and they're hitting people right out of the gate saying take 1,800 milligrams a day.
Well, I
And
mean,
that stuff will snow the fuck out of you.
Well,
that's what they did with me with the Klonopins. I mean, not.
I was taking 1,200 3 times a day.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you were
shit's
prescribed?
addictive.
Like the doctor told you to take?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first time it was prescribed to me, it was 300 milligrams 3 times a day. I was like, I have no idea what this is. This was like 13 years ago. I took 1 capsule instead of 3. I was so messed up. I never took another one. I never took another one. That was off 300 milligrams.
Remember Opana? Rest in peace, Opana.
Nope.
Nobody remembers Opana.
Nope.
Y'all had shitty lives.
Now, I remember when I first got hurt, they put me on Oxycontin and oxycodone at the same time.
I mean, they had, even in the 80s, they had Percocet, Percodan, Darvocet, that type of stuff. And even then, the potential for addiction was known. So you were supposed to use it at the doses prescribed for a certain duration so you didn't get addicted.
You know
what? But Oxycontin is extended release, correct? Versus the oxycodone is like a Percocet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only difference is that oxycodone has. I'm sorry. No, the only difference is Tylenol. Oxycontin does not have any Tylenol cut into it.
No. I know. But there's Oxycontin and Percocet. Percocet is oxycodone, not Oxycontin. It's the same family, but not as strong.
They're both oxycodone.
Yeah, we used to take that for
Vicodin is hydrocodone.
Right.
Right. So it's different.
But an Oxycontin and a Percocet have the same active ingredient. The only difference is one has Tylenol. So
one's stronger.
Right, because you can take more of it. I mean, an Oxy 30 would be just. Yeah, it's the same active ingredient. Trust and believe.
Yes. Listen, what I'm saying is.
Story. I had a sore back and I was twisted up and I couldn't sleep all night long. And it's been like 2 nights now. And the next day it even got worse. Second night I couldn't handle it. I called in to work. I said, I got to go to a doctor. I went into the doctor. Said, I got a sore back. My wife says, okay, when you go in there, they're going to try to give you codeine. Say it messes with your stomach. Then they're going to try to give you something else. Say it doesn't work. and then get the good stuff. Whatever she said. Man, I didn't listen to it at the time, right? So I went in. The doctor said, "Yeah, I'm going to give you some codeine." And I was like, "It messes with my stomach." Then he prescribed me Vicodin, which I'd never heard of before. I was like, "Why not just take the medium ground, right?" And he prescribes me 50 freaking pills, and then tells me it's addictive. And I was like, "What?" Okay, so I took it.
I mean, it takes a while to become addicted to it, and it depends on if you're taking it correctly and as needed, you know.
Oh, come on. You know what? Vicodin's really good if you just take like a couple of them. The milligrams kind of small, and drink a 6-pack of beer. You'll feel no pain. I mean, but I swore off of all powders and white substances, and that includes doctor stuff back in the late 80s. So, yeah.
Nice.
I try not. I don't even like aspirin or acetaminophen.
I don't take that shit either. I don't
They
take
took away. I said
Yeah.
they took away my oxy and put me on morphine instead.
that shit's that's a bummer. I don't know. I quit doing that shit when it got once it hit $1 a milligram for me, my prices, because I was used to getting deals, right? But once my price hit $1 a milligram for oxy, I got so mad at the fucking situation that I just, like it was weird. It just something just snapped and it was easy for me to walk away from then forward. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm spending $120 a day. I'm not getting high.
This is for your personal use?
Yeah.
Dang.
I had more money back then. I'm not getting high, and I felt like a sucker, and I don't like being a sucker. That's why I don't like gambling either, because you're in the sucker seat at casinos. But yeah, it just pissed me off, and like my whole attitude towards it flipped, and I just walked away. I haven't had one since, and it's been years, probably 6, 7 years.
I was on them for like 3 years after I have thoracic outlet syndrome, and I had to go through surgery with my shoulder, my neck, all this crap. It was a horrible injury, and I was on hydrocodone 5 milligrams 3 times a day. And after a couple of years on them, I was like, is my pain in my neck and arm and stuff really there? So I cut myself down 0.5 milligrams every 21 days until I was just off them. And I never had chronic pain again because my brain had me convinced that I was in pain so that the opiates would bind to the receptors, and that's people. It just sucks when you hear somebody getting oxycodone, Oxycontin, all of this hard shit, and all of those receptors that you turn on, and how long it takes for them to turn off so that you're not going through withdrawals. That's
Withdrawals from that was nothing compared to Klonopin, though. Those benzos are fucking no bueno.
I heard that. I've never been one. I mean, I have Valium for if I have having a panic attack, but fuck all
I hope
that.
you space those way out. What the doctor didn't tell me is that Klonopin has a 72-hour half-life. So
Oh
even
my
though,
God.
yeah, he didn't tell me that. Even though I thought that I was, having plenty of time in between taking these, I didn't even take them that much. I don't enjoy benzos.
Were you doing them recreationally?
No, I was prescribed to them, and I, because my doctor, I had a bad doctor. That's a different story. But anyways, he gave me 3 milligrams of these a day, and I take one at night or maybe 2 at night to go to sleep. It helped me go to sleep. That's it. But so I woke up in the morning feeling like I was off of them, and I wasn't.
Oh.
So can I honestly say this whole panel has gotten over one kind of addiction or another, and that's what makes this fucking hard?
I think that's symbolic of the country, though. I think everybody has had
I quit
something.
weed, but that's the only addiction. Like if you call it an addiction.
That's why. See, this is the problem. This is why you still trust institutions, because you just haven't.
I mean, I've been prescribed opioids, but I went out of my way.
You don't have to be
not get
addicted to those. You could be addicted to food, sex, masturbation.
I'm addicted
alcohol.
to.
Why do you think all of our cameras are off?
I'm in my addiction right now. I'm on this panel.
Yeah.
All right, Flow State.
You know
I'm
what else?
hopping down. I gotta go to bed.
All right. Thanks for jumping up.
Bye.
Good talking to you. Something else that is an addiction that doesn't get any fucking credit for it is
thanks.
fucking antidepressants.
Ooh.
Hey, Andrew.
When I was living in Bellflower down the hill, I was living at a facility. I couldn't stand the people at that facility because there was one entitled person. But the owner, they told me I couldn't have my own personal doctor. They had me on their doctor. And while I was living there, they tried to put me on Buspar, Zoloft, Zyprexa.
I don't know what any of that shit is.
Zoloft is another antidepressant, and so is Zyprexa. If you look it up,
So
either of
yeah,
those up, they have, they have 72 hour, what you just said about it's still being in the system. I couldn't handle living there. They had me with their doctor.
yeah. No, the way that I got Klonopins in the first place is my doctor tried to put me on antidepressants, and I refused them. I said I'm not depressed. He's like, well, they'll smooth you out. You're going through. I was getting divorced at the time. I had a lot going on. He's like, it'll just smooth out, things. He was just trying to sell the things that the farm reps were telling him to. But anyways, I refused that. He eventually ended up offering me Klonopin instead, and I recognized the name enough that I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. but yeah, I mean, when I was talking to him to Klonopins, yes, very much physically, yeah. When I went to rehab, I spent a week in the detox wing that I don't remember. Klonopin's a benzo, and benzos and alcohol are the only two withdrawals that can kill people.
For that stuff, it's almost as bad as being on fentanyl.
But when I was talking to the doctor, because he wanted to put me on antidepressants, he said, "You try these antidepressants." I said, so I just take him if I'm in a bad mood or if I'm feeling down. No, and they work. He's no, they got to build up in your system. I said, okay, so I can quit them whenever I want, though. No, we got to wean you off. I said, you just told me they're not addictive. He kind of paused. I was like, so what you mean is they're not euphoric? They are addictive. They only work through addiction, is what you're telling me. They're just not euphoric. If I'm going to be addicted to something, it might as well get me high. Nobody agrees, disagrees?
No, I agree. I mean, addiction is in many different forms, whether in euphoria, whether in pain. Shit, that would be crazy. And whether how much egg over time.
They treat addiction like you have to get high for it, and that's absurd. And actually, that reminded me. Not right now. Before I end the stream later on, I'm gonna go through something. My daughter's in 8th grade, and every year the state of Kansas does a survey of middle school students. Last year, she told me about the survey, and I ended up posting pictures of it. I got on her laptop and took pictures of it and posted it to the local Facebook group, and parents lost their shit. So this year you have to opt into it. It's not an opt-out thing, it's an opt-in thing. But I guarantee they have surveys like this for every state, and it's pretty amazing. It's amazing the things they're basically just telling kids how to do drugs.
Whoa. Oh man.
Yeah, it's what, I've already started talking about it.
If it's good enough for adults, it's good enough for kids.
I mean, it's just so fucking stupid. It's unbelievable. Just hang around. Well, I'll cover it at the end. I don't need.
What's
I
in
can't.
them?
Do, huh?
Well, that just sounds weird that they're teaching kids to do drugs. What's in it?
You'll have. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna. If I need to cover it, I'm gonna
We
kick
can
people
wait.
out because I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'll wait to do it. But fuck, what was I gonna say?
No, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs with an egg cracking on a
Yeah,
pan.
we used to watch that on acid and laugh.
Yeah,
that was one of our favorites.
And we used to all have Dare bumper stickers on our vehicles in high school, right? Like because it was funny because we were all always high. But
you know the guy that played John Arbuckle on the Garfield movies?
Nope.
No, I didn't even know they had.
He played on Freddy's Dead, and this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Remember the scene on Freddy is Dead with the guy with the.
I think that was the second film. That wasn't on the very
Freddy's
first
Dead
one.
is, I think, the third one.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of them. What's the point, though?
Nightmare on Elm Street. No, actually, Freddy Krueger actually.
I don't doubt. Yeah, I've seen some Nightmare on Elm Streets. I don't like horror movies though; they're tacky.
It was either the second or third one. Freddy made the reference.
But what was the point of the question? Why were you asking about him?
No. I was just bringing that up because this is your brain. This is your brain. I'm sorry.
Because Garfield. I don't know. But Jeff, did you hear? I just wanted to point out so that it didn't get missed. She was talking about how much the pharmaceutical companies faked the studies.
Man,
wasn't there a lawsuit?
Yeah,
I think that it was.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just wanted to point out. You trust institutions too much. I just thought I would shine a light on that.
I trust it. I've been prescribed antidepressants. I've been prescribed opioids. I've had Xanax prescriptions for when needed, etc. I was always told about the dangers. I was always told to use them responsibly. So nothing, the system worked. It didn't get me addicted. It educated me and gave me the information I needed to avoid addiction.
Well, it didn't work for most of America.
That's what I wonder about.
I
follow whatever's on my pill bottle, and if I don't take one a day or whatever, I don't take more than what's done.
They try to teach people the risks and benefits or all of that. They just like to, has that
the antidepressants. They don't know because they don't
large
know how it's
population. It's just so they push it onto them, and even with kids. I mean,
so the reason that
here's a lot of things from institutions.
I don't do that at all. I don't trust a lot of medication.
Part of it, and it went crazy when I was working. The
way that you can tell that they're not doing their. They say that things like depression are a chemical problem.
They don't know
with chemical drugs. They never do a chemical test. That's what it is with all psychiatric conditions.
They don't know how they work. Antidepressants. They don't. There's not really science behind it yet.
I don't think. I mean, they don't work though, do they? They increase the risk of suicide.
They made me worse. They turned me into a zombie. I didn't get better till I got off of them.
They increase the risk of suicide. If that doesn't tell you that these are not working, then I don't know what does.
I mean, I have seen people that they.
I think it adversely works against the person,
but they definitely didn't do it for me. I don't take any of that stuff for depression.
And what I've learned.
So y'all never had family members in y'all's lives who were addicted to pills and just watched them and thought, "Oh,
I did."
No, I've had friends, kind of, but they were abusing.
When I
it was drug abuse. The friends themselves were taking way more than they were
back in Los Angeles County. I wanted to get off of that stuff because it was messing up my brain.
Yeah. See, I never I have so many prescriptions for
and I'd be going to work
that I never even take. Even from this last wreck, I have
my Xanax prescription is probably 5 or 6 years old.
I just
For
don't
me,
know.
it's somewhat of a good thing for me because I got out of the situation I was when I was living in Los Angeles.
Did you get addicted by accident, or were you abusing the drug?
They had me taking the drug regularly, and I've been having adverse effects to my brain. I didn't want to be on it because it was starting to make me too addicted.
What was it?
I was on Buspar, Buspirone. I was on Zoloft, Zyprexa. They try to put me on Prilosec. I don't have asthma. I'm fit. And I eat well. I cook myself something to eat right there. I'm just about to get ready to open these sardines and put them
on camera, please.
I'm sorry.
So when you went to the doctor, were you honest about what you were feeling and how you were? Because
I told the doctor that had been prescribing me those meds. He pushed me on the meds, and he said, "Oh no, it is all in your head. You gotta stop."
Well, that was a bad doc. You got a bad
Oh,
doctor.
wow.
I would have filed a
yeah.
complaint.
I was
that while he
living
was
at
in
a
a
facility,
facility?
and it was their
Yep.
prescribed doctor. They had me on a doctor from their
Part of it
house,
is
and I
patients
couldn't
don't
go
know.
to
They
the
don't know their
doctor I
rights.
had. I was a part of Alma Family Services down in Los Angeles County, and
Did they
that
give you a
doctor,
list of patient rights? Like, did you know what you had the right to do and refuse, etc.?
I was young. I was still in my 20s when I was there.
God, that's part of it.
Yeah, most of them want to make a zombie
I did
in order
not
to
know
control
my
it.
Yeah, it does. It makes their job easier if they can medicate or sedate the patient, and it's easy to bill insurance because they can show a concrete, specific treatment and the effects and the results, and then they just
I
check.
said where I was living when I
Very
came
familiar with all
here,
them
and I was
places.
living in a facility. The people that I was living with while I lived up in facilities up here in the high desert, they said they're not legitimate. That one doesn't exist.
Okay, so to the panel, do y'all think some of these drugs were pushed down people's throat at this time to do experiments to see what the effects were? Or did they already know and then they were doing what we were saying? We're just pushing these to make these people easier to control and we're going to make money on the back end.
Yeah, I think
you talking about it
and
mental
they're
health
incentivized
facilities?
by the pharmaceutical companies too.
Welcome, Truth or Cop.
think the drugs
I don't think
really
there's
work.
anything sinister about like they're
I
experimenting.
think the
but I do
drugs
think there
really
are
work
incentives
too well.
to overprescribe, and there are reasons that to overprescribe. Like it makes their job easier.
Never be.
I think the drugs worked too well, and it was more than they were expecting. But they knew it worked, and so they went with it and made their money.
And they really do help some people, but you have to treat it on an individual level.
Everyone's different, man. Hey, I'm an addictive personality. I smoke cigarettes, right? Biggest thing I have to deal with is nicotine, and that's a monster.
That's not personality.
Personality addictions, yeah.
Truth or Cop, what are you addicted to?
How I perceive reality.
Oh, Truther's here. Oh, hey, Truther.
How's it going, Jeff? Y'all are talking about, perspectives and all this, and these drugs that are designed to alter our perspectives of ourselves and our own body and heal our chemistry. But there's so many plants that did it beforehand, and without addressing first the corruption that unfolded, casting aside thousands of years of empirical evidence about how plants healed disease and were hijacked intentionally by the petropharmaceutical industry to push these pharmaceutical drugs based on petropharmaceuticals, oil-based derivatives, patented items instead of nature owning it. Now the corporation owns it. We have to address all this and then move forward. We've entered a fractured medical system where it's the treatments treat the symptoms, not the source of the issue, which we all know.
Agree.
But it's intentional.
But that's a bigger issue. I agree, and I'll take it a step further. I think that the big pharma is just the front-facing part of the chemical weapons industry.
Well,
right, Monsanto.
I'm not even follow you there. But.
You guys know Sweet and Low?
Monsanto made Sweet and Low.
The sweetener.
Yeah.
Was it?
I worked at a steel mill, and part of the process was we take coal and put it in these ovens and cook it and turn it into chunks of coke. But the byproducts from the melting of the coal was toxic chemical called benzene. And we used to sell that. They used to sell that to the Sweet and Low people. And that's why they made Sweet and Low with. That's why the rats would come up with cancer.
No shit.
Yeah, that's why the rats come up with cancer when they was doing those studies, is because they was taking a toxic byproduct and using it to make Sweet and Low originally.
Oh,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, I'm talking like my parents talked to me. Well, my dad talked to me like at 6 about Sweet Low causes cancer.
Yeah,
like anytime we went to the restaurant, he'd be like, "Now, what packet do you get?" No, that's the wrong one. Like he really drilled it in my head.
It's the equal, not the Sweet and Low. It's the equal, not the Sweet and Low. Come on.
Excuse me. Sweet and Low and all of that aspartame. Plastics. I think plastics are inside of those things.
100%.
Plastics are inside of Chuck's rectum. We can guarantee that.
Andrew's spot on here. It's because that's what I was saying about the petropharmaceutical industry. Is Rockefeller realized that they could mimic any chemical compound at the atomic level and patent something similar that they found in plants with oil byproducts, and that is what most medicines are based on: plastics.
Well, you know, gasoline is just a byproduct of the oil industry when it first started.
And so is Sweet and Low.
So if we're taking all of these, do as humans, not necessarily our generation, but do our bodies conform to these narcotics? Do we develop, like as humans, do we develop some sort of resistance or something?
No.
Or, no?
Well, you develop a tolerance to anything.
Of course we do. Yeah,
You
of
can
course.
and get used to it, but that's it. Breaking through.
It's just
Look at chickens today. We had a chicken that was as small as a fat. So
Right.
It is big today.
That's right.
Right.
But it never becomes not bad for you. It's just your body. It becomes the new normal for your body. We can adapt to like all sorts of fucking shit. Oh yeah,
like the Wi-Fi, the electric, and all that. But our body, our minds create. This is our gift from the Creator here. Our minds can see what's happening in the world in front of us. It can see the truth, the reality of the situation we deal with. We also get to see the future we want to create. And our mind is the merger between the soul and the reality. And it creates chemicals and compounds that allows our body to manifest the reality and perception we want to develop. Just like chemicals developed on film and all this. It's just the lens of perception being developed.
Huh?
I followed that, and I like that actually. That was well.
Uh,
It was
I don't like that at all. I
don't like it. I don't agree
I'm
with
just
it.
gonna
but-
sit here graciously and politely.
I'm with you, Joe.
Back and relax. That's what
Well,
I do.
But you know what? I'm going to manifest some good stuff right here because I'm like in the right frame of mind right now. I'm just going to let it flow like a flow state. That's all I'm saying.
What's up, buddy?
Girl.
Happy to see you again, man. Oh, yeah. You've been right there all this time. I'm sorry. I'm friends with Fab Daddy.
Is Fat Daddy up here?
Fab
No.
Daddy.
Uncle Fat. Oh, Fab Daddy. I'm thinking of Uncle Fat.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, I was thinking of.
Well, if you're Chili DeCastro, you call me Fat Daddy. But that's all right.
my god!
I don't even know who that is. I mean, I
He's a
recognize the name.
clown. He's a big ass clown.
See, some people know about him. Yeah, you're a YouTuber if you've been around, you know, old Chili DeCastro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get to all the corners of the thing.
He was a fired Power Ranger from the TV show that went nuts. thought he's a 1A cop watcher.
There's a lot of. I mean, YouTube is just full of such. It's the biggest concentration of narcissistic personalities I think I've ever seen, which is not really a surprising thing. Of course, it's gonna attract people like me and Truth or Cop and Jeff.
Is that why me and Jack don't get along?
Like who?
All
me
of
and
us.
Jack.
I don't know what Jack's thing is. Chuck, I watched your thing today. I didn't see where you did anything wrong. I don't know why.
I know. I showed up. That's what I did wrong.
You were saying something about yourself. You weren't even saying anything about.
It wasn't what he said there. It's what Jack remembered he typed earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack
on
was
another
reminded of
video.
something.
On a total another video.
Yeah. You guys know that I'm into my personality type shit. I think that that are conflictor types, which is exactly what it sounds like. Of all the 16 types, there's 2 that are the least suited to get along. I think that they're conflictors.
So it's not about anything rational.
Huh?
It's not about anything rational. It's just under the.
It doesn't appear to be to me.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too.
So, Flo, you're saying you have figured out the states of people on YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, sure, not really, but then we can move forward with it.
Because that's bold, man. I mean, there's a lot of different people in the world, and
well, I didn't say I'd figured out all the people in the world.
Just on YouTube.
Well, I mean,
categories. You got categories. You got categories.
Oh, well, I was talking about. I didn't make the categories. Carl Jung made the categories. I just learned about them and apply them.
Well, he didn't even really make them. It was that lady, her daughter, after
Myers-Briggs. I use the Russian version though. I don't even know who Galenko. Victor Galenko. Yeah. The Russian version is better, but yeah, I think that they're conflictor types. At least in my head, that's how I explain it. But I don't know.
I have no idea what.
Jack's here. Sorry, hi, Jack.
All life is the stories we tell ourselves.
Between Russian and Ukraine.
We're not doing that. We're not answering that. Just look at a map. Google it.
Okay.
Yeah, geography.
There's a lot of deep ties there.
To know about the world you live in. It's kind of cool.
Jack, we're doing therapy hour.
My inclination from what I've seen is what it looks like to me is that Jack overreacts at Chuck, but I've thought that before about how he handled Nubs, and later I found out that I was in the wrong and he was right about Nubs. So I've learned to be a little bit more reserved when judging how Jack handles people. So I'll just say I don't know.
So would you say you're kind of like
I'm sorry. With Chuck, there are things that we don't always know, because I notice like when Jack gets upset, it's usually something that's happened that I don't know about. So I think I just think there's more to why he gets upset. It's never what it appears to be, from what I've observed, because there's been times I've done things and he doesn't get upset with me, so I know it's not right then and there a lot of the times.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
So you want to be hip? You got to suck your own dick. Wiggity what? What? You got to suck your own dick. Wiggity dick.
That's what the cool people do.
Man, I hang out here and if those
Can
songs
you explain how one would do that?
Eric Cartman.
The longer version of the song goes into it.
South Park.
I can explain it to you. You must be a little bit flexible and have a
It's
very
good.
long
You're either
schlong.
born that way. You either can or you can't.
Yeah, you got to be flexible and have a long schlong. And if you can't do it, yeah, I'm sorry for you. I enjoy myself every night this week. It's been awesome.
That is so. You're one of the rare ones.
That's how hard I am. Oh, take that, Flow State. Oh.
It's just a stupid rock.
If you make that noise again, I'm going to kick you out.
Oh, that was a good Elmo impression, though. That was a good Elmo impression. I got to film Elmo once, the actor, and I was shocked when he came out from behind the stage. The guy who does the voice. Have you ever seen him?
I have not. I hope never to. Go ahead. What about him?
It's a black dude, like an older black dude.
Yeah, and isn't he the one that got caught touching young children?
I don't believe so.
Yep.
Which voice? Who are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a whole documentary about it.
No.
Yes.
He played the voice for the baby dinosaur on Dinosaurs back then when that show was premiered.
What about it?
I loved that show.
I used
I'm
to
the
watch
baby,
that.
gotta love me.
On acid too.
Oh yeah, that show is all right.
That is right. I forgot about that. The only one I remember was Not the Mama.
Oh yeah, the little baby.
Because he'd take a frying pan and one in on it.
And some of us took frying pans to our minds with different technologies integrated through creation. And we've developed perspectives that have stuck with us, and we can let those go at any moment. That light can just be released at any moment, and we can develop a different way of thinking. Just like that. Seriously. For real.
So, truth or cop?
What's up, Cynthia?
So, what happens when you reach the state of you're good with where you're at? You're at a good place. You're at a peaceful place. You're on your journey, and you don't want to put it down. And it often seems that people are always trying to convince you, oh, but you need to put that down. So, is there ever a point that it's okay not to put it down because you're in your good space?
Wisdom without love. There's a Bible quote about this. I need to look it up. Flo, say, can you please pull that one up? It's important right now. Wisdom without love, it doesn't matter. So you could have all the wisdom in the world and you could be so wise, but if you don't have a lot of love and that connection with the live beingness of reality, the creator, you know.
What is wisdom without love? Is that the
What's
thing?
that verse, Flo? What's the verse?
I don't know. Hold your horse.
How is that?
I have a Bible.
You have to be as wise.
1 Corinthians 13:2. If I have the gift of prophecy, well,
you got to put the hat on, Flo.
Andrew, what? Andrew, please.
You want me to say it?
Yes, please,
Okay.
please.
Yes, as wise as a serpent, but as kind as a lamb. Something
was that
like
it, Truth or Cop?
That is a similar one. It's a similar tie-in to here because you have to have the balance between the heart and the mind. The mind can come up with all sorts of creations, but if you don't have the magnetic pulse of reality, the heart, the reality, the love, to tie that wisdom into, you're not going to make it reality.
Understanding.
So again,
there's different
if you're
kinds
a
of wisdom.
person that has that good balance.
Lack of knowledge.
It's okay to stay as you
Lack
are,
of
stay in your
knowledge.
ground, right? Truth or cop?
I was trying to listen to Andrew at the same time. If you have the knowledge, what?
If you have the balance, like you were saying, the connection, the love, the peace, like without a shadow of a doubt, the path you are on is your path. That path doesn't look like anybody else's path, but that path is your path and it's meant for you and it's perfect for you. Why is it I need to put it down?
Well, that's what that was. You asked me that. You're bringing me back to the original point you're thinking.
Into every purpose of heaven.
To what?
Ecclesiastes 3. The song that was written by the Beatles.
The Birds. There's a time, turn
Oh, yeah.
to every season.
There's a time to every season.
A time to
and
live, a
a
time to
point to
die.
every purpose under heaven. A time to be willing and a time to refrain or something. There's a lot of different.
Cynthia, why do you why would you think you have to give it up?
No, I always hear a lot of people like you, such as Truth or Cop. Not that I'm picking on you or anything, but people are like, you have to put down at any moment. You have to put down what that, and then see the new reality. But
man.
I'm in my good space, and I know where I've been, and I know where I'm at. Why would I have to put it down if it works for me? Like, I never hear anybody really talk about, if you're in that good space, stay there. Everybody
stay nowhere though.
that.
We can keep expanding and growing and evolving. We don't stop. Don't
Yeah,
stop.
but her path will do that. If she's truly on her path, it's going to take her there anyway.
Well, that would be that's my retort. If you're asking me for a retort, that's my retort. So
if you're in your good state and so you're rejecting new information or you're lying to yourself about existing information, then you're not in a good state, I would say.
Yeah, that's the key, is like knowing when you're really in a good state and when you just think you are. But that's different than y'all need to just learn how to ignore people. Like, I don't ever let people. Nobody knows me better than I know myself. I don't let
Absolutely, Jeff.
let anybody try to convince me that they know what's better for me than I do.
Absolutely, I agree, Jeff.
But we still have to connect with one another in reality and join here together in what is real.
Well,
that's the balance. That's the balance.
Are we real? I see.
I think every one of us are living in different realities, subjectively.
Absolutely.
To an extent, like we have different perspectives. We have a shared reality.
Yeah, but it seems that way.
It does seem that way. I believe it really is that way.
There's one truth, multiple possibilities. I just put this in TML's chat, which was the original reason I came over here.
Oh, I forgot.
Is fucking Bunny Jim Bob, by the way? But Bunny is Jim Bob on TML's panel. But I said multiple possibilities, one truth. Everything up until the moment, we have unlimited possibilities. There's different worlds and different possibilities in our minds. But until we arrive in the moment and we meet together and we share that perspective, that's not the truth. Until we meet, that's the truth.
Walking when we meet ourselves.
I didn't follow that. So you're saying there's what's the meeting together part? Like, I agree that there's multiple possibilities for things that haven't occurred yet.
Walk as we go.
But there's only one.
There's one reality where we all agree.
That's how we that's how we know what is real. Is it's the shared experiences.
I don't know if you
think everybody does live in the same reality.
Every one of us, if you focus in on our individual reality, it's going to be slightly different. My reality is going to be different from Flo's. Flo's is going to be different.
Your perspective,
even though it seems like we're inhabiting this shared.
If I throw a football at you, you can catch it, or at least fumble it, trying to catch it because you know it's coming at you. That's a shared reality. If I throw it at you and you're not looking at it because your perspective is somewhere else, it'll hit you in the head.
Yeah, but I'd say that's only a part of your reality. Like I'm experiencing the football differently than you are.
Reality. No,
that is the reality.
You can experience
that's the surface of reality. That's like the physical aspect of it.
Jeff, you can experience a semi all kinds of ways in your mind. And when that semi strikes you as you cross the road, you're going to experience that semi the same way the driver is. Oh, shit, we fucked up.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the subjective element in our sense of reality.
It's subjective.
How it's different for everyone. We have different past experiences, different associations. I have different experiences with a football than Flo does. So when it's coming at me, my mind's going to perceive it in a very particular way. His is going to perceive it in a way that relates to his experiences, etc.
But none of that has
physically. It's the same football, but mentally, it's a we're having different
Right.
experiences.
We're agreeing, but but the reality is the shared component.
That's what you're calling the reality.
Yes.
I'm calling the
it's
reality all
the
of it.
co-signing of the agreement.
The mental
that we
reality, the
do
physical
the same
component
thing.
of it, everything. Like it's more of a holistic sense of reality. So it might
Well,
just
then
be semantics.
if your experience is reality, then everything is real that you experience, and we know that that's not the case because that's how we distinguish somebody who's crazy from somebody who's not crazy.
It's all part of experience. That's why I'm a phenomenologist and not a strict materialist.
What is that?
Even crazy people, whatever they're experiencing is part of their experiencing.
Phenomenologist
They're not experiencing nothing. They're experiencing something,
studies
whether it's part of
wonders.
material reality or not.
Study the wonder.
It's still part of their reality.
No, it's not. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
just
how.
like your
If
dreams are
we're
part
there,
of
then we're
It's
there.
not
reality.
reality. It's their experience, but it's not reality.
Because
Reality has to
we're
mean
we're
something
using
besides
reality
experience.
in two different ways.
That sounds like realm of perception, Jeff.
Yes, perception is reality.
Are you solipsistic? Are you? Do you
Yes,
believe
I am.
that-
Yes, I am.
There, we only
Okay.
have our
That's
thoughts to ourselves.
that's why we won't
There's
agree on
no
lots of things.
material whatsoever in thought.
Yeah, but probably the
What did
least
you
of the
ask him,
reasons.
Flo? Is he a what?
Solipsist, which means that you don't believe that reality is what you perceive, and if you don't perceive it, it's not real. It's like it's people who think
that's
that they
not
can
strictly
change genders
You
and
can't know anything outside of your own mind. I can only know what I have experienced from the time I was born until the time I died. That is the whole sum of my reality that I will ever know.
the theory that the self is the only thing that can be known and verified, the view that the self is the only reality, the belief or proposition that the person entertaining it alone exists and that other people exist only as ideas in his mind.
So take somebody
You're
who
not
has
green.
multiple personalities. They have different realities in their
When you
mind.
fall asleep, you tend to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, even
There's
schizophrenics
no
and
Yeah, but
psychotics have different
let me
realities.
perception.
Andrew,
That's
hang on
fact.
1 second. I wasn't
I have
cut.
different realities.
So they have different perception of realities. They even have different ones within themselves. Like I know people, I can see their voice change, their mannerisms change. They're completely a different person. That's their reality. Yeah, I'm there with them, but they didn't, like we're not in the same reality anymore. Like they switched and I didn't. And so now they see things different. Sometimes they think they're different people from a different time. That's their reality for the moment.
That's not a reality. That's not reality.
It
How is that
is.
not
It's your brain
reality?
simulates reality based on the inputs.
Your brain
the data it's
interprets
receiving
reality.
based on
I
the
agree with
internal
Cynthia there.
structure and the
That-
individual cognitive processes.
If I throw a football
the
at you,
reality
you can be
that
dead asleep
Cynthia
and it
is
will
being
hit you.
fed
That's
by
reality.
her brain is different than the reality that her friend is being fed by her dissociative
That is
identity
fact.
brain. The reality of
Oh,
somebody on drugs, their brain is feeding them a different
Your
reality. than somebody that's
attention,
sober.
look, your participation in reality is not necessary. You can be dead asleep, and if I drop you off of a bridge, you're going to hit the ground.
I know. I've said it
Right.
a few
But
times.
in
We're
the dead
using
of
the word
sleep.
reality in two different
And-
ways. We're not talking
No,
about the
yeah,
same thing.
you are, yes.
You will
I
wake
see.
up.
It is time for us to wake up, man. I see both of your perspectives. I get it. The disagreement here is because neither one of you see God, and that's okay.
You say that when you don't know me and you've never had. How can you?
I think he was talking about me and Jeff.
I'm not talking about you, Cynthia. I'm not talking about you, Cynthia.
It was me and Jeff.
Do you not see the hat, sir?
Yeah, how can you?
I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
that?
Okay. I should.
I see God. I see God. It's not the same God as you see because it's my own God, but not your God.
Right.
How
And even
about
if I
that?
did see God, it would probably not be the same as yours.
Then it's probably not God. If it's
Right.
not universal, it's not God.
We are co-creators.
Oh, my God is
in the
universal
Word of
within
God.
me and everyone that
We're
agrees with me. If
co-authors.
you don't agree
We tell
with
a
me,
story.
then you're wrong.
Beware of the God of this world. He comes as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hail Satan.
Absolutely. Wow. Andrew.
No way. I disagree with that last statement there. Jeff, hell no.
What was the last
I
statement?
got enough shit to deal with without being drunk and ear
Man,
fucking shit.
like God creates.
Utopia.
Flo's going to make money off of this conversation.
There's
Flo's not making shit off of this conversation.
No, none of us are making money.
No, $5 to change the topic.
He might get a changed topic at some point.
I hope you all make $1,000 off of this conversation right now. That's what I pray for. I pray
co-create
to
that,
my
Truth.
God. I pray to my God that you make $1,000 off of it.
Hey, the inspiration that comes from the words that come out of our mouths right now could very well make that happen easily. Absolutely.
You almost have me believing.
Somebody needs to show Jeff God and buy up some space on this floor.
I used to believe when I was a kid. I experienced God and Jesus and all that.
The church had a shit.
Destroy you. I would love to hear the story, but they're not going to let you tell it.
Go for it.
I don't want to hear everybody all at once.
Stuck images only now.
I also don't want to micromanage the conversation, so you guys just figure out how to do it.
Praise God.
Amen.
I got a joke.
Okay, let's hear it. Chuck, we've already had some of your bad jokes today. Are you sure you want to do this right now?
This is Fab Daddy.
Oh, my bad. Okay, go ahead. We haven't had your bad joke yet.
There's a bad, we're talking about religion. So the church had a ton of money, a whole lot of money. And they're like, how do we separate what we give to God and what we give to the church? And so one priest says, I got an idea. We'll draw a line on the ground and we'll throw all the money up, and what lands on that side is God and what lands on this side is the churches. And the second priest said, no. We'll draw a circle. What lands on the outside is ours. What lands on the inside is God. And the third priest said, no, I got a better idea. We'll throw all the money up. What God catches, he can keep.
I don't get it.
God didn't get it because nothing was caught, so they didn't have to give any money to the church.
There you go. All the church kept it. The church kept it. What God catches, he can keep.
Oh, okay. I misheard it then. Well, I don't know if I want to. Okay, I will. Is it not a big red flag that the crescendo of every church service is the offering plate? Doesn't that tell you what it's about?
OMG. Listen.
At the end of the year, you do still get back that money.
No, you don't.
You're supposed to take it out, aren't you?
Well, that depends on what you mean by crescendo, because in the Catholic Church, it didn't. I would call communion the crescendo.
Touche. Most churches, though. Okay, so you got me on a point of technicality. That is correct. The question still stands.
Okay, so my church, we collect tithe, and on the third Sunday of each month, we have a meeting on how much tithe was collected the month before, how much the pastor made, how much the housekeeping made, and like we know how much electricity was, water was, and we it's a business. We all attend a business meeting. So now that I understand that and I see that, I do understand why tithe is to be collected. If I'm others that are lost and confused want to come to in their moments, of course, I want to do my part to keep these doors open. And also, for me, it is a relationship with the Lord that I trust in Him more than this piece of paper money that I know He will provide for me. I have given away my last dollars to pay my tithe, and more has come back for me within less than 24 hours unexpectedly. I just told y'all, I've been so worried about my rent, like, because everybody raises rent. And for the first time in my life, they lowered my rent when I renewed the lease. Like, if you don't trust in money, but trust in the Lord, it will all be okay.
What if it's just, have you read like The Power of Intention, or you're familiar with it, right? What if you're just misattributing it?
Secret? Is it kind of like The Secret, The Power of Intention?
It's what it sounds like, right? Like if you believe something, it'll happen. It's manifestation.
Either way, it
essentially.
sounds beneficial. Either way, it sounds beneficial. So I can't hate on it, right?
Right. I mean, I'm just curious if she maybe thinks that, because I would, if that happened to me, I would. I mean, it sounds to me, the way that I interpret your story is that you did that and you're misattributing it.
No, and yes, they do provide for the community. As a matter of fact, all the churches in our community just built a homeless, I don't want to say shelter because it's a place that's only open during the day, but you can come do your laundry, you can come do your estate paperwork, you can get a haircut, you can get, take care of yourself. So yes, our church does provide for the community, and we even pay 10% to another organization for our tithe as a church.
So they can get paid as well.
Did you just say your church gives haircuts? I'm in.
No, we built a homeless center for it's open Monday through Saturday, and you can come and get a haircut. There's free washers and dryers. They can come and do their laundry. There's a little grocery store that they can come and do the shopping. We serve meals every Thursday night, no matter the weather.
So what
But
kind of haircut
I
can they
know
get?
that.
Can they get
I
a
know
mohawk?
that because I'm involved with the business aspect of it. But I also grew up in a church like that as a little girl. So I understood when I looked for church, if I went to a church and they didn't allow me to see the tithe offerings and where it was distributed, that wasn't the church for me.
Okay. Well, you have salvation, right? That's the main thing, right? Correct? You have salvation?
From what?
Yeah.
You know what salvation means? Like when you die, you're going somewhere.
Oh, like the afterlife.
Yeah, that's salvation.
But not because I go to church. But that's not because I go to church or pay my tithes.
But if you had never heard of this church that you were part of, and you had no idea, I'm sure you might still have salvation, right? Or never heard of Jesus. What if you never heard of Jesus? Would you still have salvation?
Oh, now we're getting into that territory. Okay. So because I'm going to go off of the Bible that I follow, and that is if you don't accept the Lord Jesus Christ into your heart, then you won't enter into the gates of heaven.
Again, I'm going to say, what if you never read the Bible? You were away from everyone. You never read a Bible.
Most Christians haven't read a Bible.
Correct.
So a lot of people always say, how come God allows all of these horrible things going on in the world? How come he allows all of this and that? How come he just doesn't come back and take over the world?
He made it
and
free.
So for me, I always say he's taking his time because he's making sure that everybody in the world hears him. I actually have a friend who's a missionary in the Amazon forest who takes a canoe that goes to the Amazon forest and tries to do missionary work. Like, you can't sit here and say that people in the depths of nowhere won't eventually hear about God one way or another. If God wants to talk to you and get to you, it will happen. No doubt about it.
Where you are with the person that he sent.
Yeah, it will happen. No doubt about it. And I understand that that's a belief a lot of people don't believe in or don't agree with.
Either fall on the rock or the rock will fall on you.
But I have to stay true to who I am. I'd be false if I didn't.
And if you walk away, be warned that he will take back what you've taken for granted. If you can't be faithful for the little, you will not have much.
I don't know how any of you know this stuff. But that's because Truth or Cop doesn't think I can see God.
I believe in Christ.
Well, supposed to, rebut my position there. I'm sorry. If I'm wrong, let me know.
What position am I supposed to rebut?
That you can't see God, that I said that about you. So
I think that I can. Well, it depends on what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by see God.
Well, I don't know what you meant by that. I said that earlier either, so I would have to hear myself again to get my own context to reiterate this conversation. But I'll trust your lead on this.
Okay, so I win. I think that there's a number of issues with God as it's presented to us. One of them being, and by that I mean because we're all in the West, I mean Christianity, basically, because I don't know much about the other major religions really. But one is the idea of original sin is blasphemous from the ground up.
Do you say original sin, or do you mean unforgivable sin?
Original sin, the idea
Like
that
we were born
that
flawed
we're all
or
flawed and need to be saved.
Yeah.
That's an idea that came from Saint Augustine.
So
it came from
you always have an issue with believing that kids can be born sinful. I can even testify
no. I think
my dog is
it's
sinful.
a logical issue. It's not a value. It's not that I value kids too much and it bothers my sentiment. It's because it's illogical. God created man and He said it was good.
How come you can be so logical about that and so irrational about some of the other stuff?
Here's the thing: I'm logical about everything all the time. You just don't know.
No, you're not. You were just very rational and you were able to critically think about Cynthia misattributing her attribution. I'm like, if you could use that kind of thinking on some of the other stuff that I challenge you on, we wouldn't even
When did he do that
be
to
having
her?
half the arguments we have. Like it's like you can do it sometimes, but when I try to get you to do it other times.
I feel exactly the same way about you.
So now that I've seen that you have that ability, that makes it even more.
Yeah, Andrew, there's a disconnect here, isn't there, Andrew? I see it too, dude. I'm trying to address it, but
go ahead.
Is this like a Talcott episode?
We offered to come up here.
Yeah, I remember Cynthia was mentioning that Lowe's and Jeff have an argument with each other.
I'm lost.
Well, fortunately, I have the logic going. I can focus on.
Well, Jeff, there was a straw man going on about there, and I feel like you presented the straw man. I'm not sure though.
What was the straw man?
I don't remember. See, I just feel. I'm just telling you my feelings.
So it's just vibes. I don't.
Just vibe.
I don't know how to do that.
Vibe for a moment, dog. Shoot.
It was begging the question because his statement assumed that that my other things were not as logical as what I was displaying there.
They're not.
I was just
because the same case you made against Cynthia can be made against. Like, how do you know you're not misattributing things to some of the things you think?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, but you're convinced you're not.
But
that she is. She might.
Why am I convinced I'm not?
You just said you're not.
Realities, though. Does this mean we live in different realities?
No, it doesn't. It means that you hold self-contradicting beliefs.
We have different experiences. We have we're born alone and we die alone. We experience
that's
life alone. And every moment we will be alone in our experience. However, the truth is a collective experience.
No.
Yes.
No, you can only know a limited number of. You can only know a fixed number of people, so it can't be completely collective. You can only ever know a fragment of.
For sure. I'm just saying it's a collective experience. Where now the Bible's they've changed it to say 3 or more gather in my name. Where 3 or more gather in the name of truth, there I am in the midst of them. Where there are witnesses to what is happening, and they are speaking in truth with their own perceptions, and they all agree. That is the truth, and it is fragmented in that regard. Because then all of a sudden you have segments of people who see certain things. Yes.
Okay. I don't know what any of that meant, but I'll take the fragmented part.
Then you're a little bit slow.
If truth can be subjective individually, then there is no truth.
It depends on what you mean by truth. There's different kinds of truth. You're talking about like ultimate
you don't believe in
scientific objective truth. Science doesn't even have that yet. Like at the quantum level, they're still even trying to discover. So I don't know if humans are ever going to have like ultimate truth. We have a human truth.
I got something for you. All right, you two need to identify something that you guys both agree is true between the two of you Maybe the color of the shirts that you see
What
on
about
one another.
math?
No, Jeff.
Maybe that'll.
No, Jeff. Get out of here with your
Math?
Satanism and
Why would math
Scientology.
not be?
Get
We
out
can
of
both.
here. I
Is
want
that
to
a
know the
truth?
color. What is the color of Flow State shirt, Jeff?
Well, a colorblind
What is
person's
the
going to see
color
it
of
differently.
Flow
Than I don't
State's
know what
shirt?
color shirt it is. It looks blackish.
This is the
Okay.
problem. You don't believe in truth. You don't believe in it as a concept. It's philosophically you deny thing.
Me or Truth or Cop?
You.
I said it depends on what you mean by truth. There's different kinds of truth. Some truths I do believe in. Some truths I believe might exist, but that humans are not going to reach them anytime soon, et cetera, et
What
cetera.
I'm
So it
saying
depends
is
on
the truth
what
is
specifically you mean by
it's
truth
where
and what kind of truth.
you, Jeff, you and Flow State, where you can come together in front of me or any one of us on panel or in the live stream, where you two can come together in front of us and we can agree on it. That is truth. That is our power. And if you're
that's going to be a contingent truth because all it takes is one
then
more
you're
person
sowing doubt in
in the
your own
mix to
power.
disagree to throw it all off.
For sure. Then you need, that's why there's two people having the discussion, and then there's a witness. You guys choose the witness that you guys want to have, but it is the witness of the truth that you guys experience, and you're going to have a limited perspective, each one of you, and then even so will the witness.
Truth is a reality that's independent of a perspective. It exists outside of our observation.
Like objective truth or objective reality, like the thing that science studies and tries to determine.
It makes a shot at it. Sure.
That's yes, I understand that version of truth.
Okay.
I don't think we've reached it or are going to reach it anytime soon, but it's out there. Like the journey or the striving to reach it is what gives us.
Isn't there a Bible verse about how men will be so smart that they confuse themselves or something?
Well, that's that wisdom without love.
So the definition of true is accordance with fact or reality. So,
yeah, and the fact and the reality is when Jeff and Flow State go to sleep, you guys breathe automatically and you don't consider each breath you take. So it happens automatically and the breath is there. Just like every fucking thing else that we need to live. And when we deny that force that provides for us, we become detached from reality.
I wish there was a force that provided for me. How do you get it? How do you make contact with that force?
You're doing it right now.
No, you. I mean, you specifically. How does truth or cop? How do you?
Hold on. Let me breathe in for a moment.
How do you become aware of it yourself?
Hold on. Let me read that. Let me read that. Where did that breath come from, God?
But that doesn't make me feel like I'm in contact with the force. It's just me breathing.
Man became a living soul when he breathed his breath into the world.
We
All
give.
that was created. Was
Like I would love to feel what you're describing, but I just don't.
Dude,
and I'm wondering how you.
It's your fucking limitations on your mind's perspective. Your mind is a weapon. It is a tool designed by the creator to allow you to do whatever. However, you are governed until you can govern yourself and not manipulate others with the powerful tool you've been given. And shout out to Tupelo, long time listener out here. What's up? Good to see you.
So correspondence theory is a philosophy, kind of the primary one about what is true, and it's called correspondence theory. So it basically is what I was just describing. Our experiences correspond to the reality that is shared and exists outside of our attention to it.
Okay.
What?
I could accept that as a form of truth.
So what is something that does not meet that definition, but that would also be true?
People's opinion.
If you told me that you heard the voices told you to,
there are internal truths, like we talked about the schizophrenic, or like truth or cop thinks he sees God. That's not corresponding to something outside. It's corresponding to something in his mind. Our experience in God or no whatever.
The truth would be that he had the experience, not that he saw God. Right? There is a truth there, but it's
That's
not
what
that.
I said. That is exactly what I said. That
Okay.
with her schizophrenic example, that it doesn't have to be true, like correspondently true.
I
for
feel
it
like
to
this is
be
making me
part of that
schizophrenic.
person's experience.
Yeah. The truth shatters the paradigms that we are limited to.
Liar.
That's why I said we all have our individual subjective truth. There are things
God damn
that
it.
we
We
experience that
just
may or may
resolved
not
all our shit, and
correspond
then you
to
start back up
reality.
with this.
And like, okay, what about
Jeff,
love? Love is not
Jeff,
objective. Like
Jeff,
someone's
is
you're
the
gonna see your
sun
girlfriend different than we're gonna see her
is the
because your
sun
mind is
that we
adding this
stand
special like
under
perception to
the
her.
sun and the moon and the stars that we stand under, the astrology and the planets orbiting us, Jeff? Are we experiencing those same things together right now on this limited plane that we get to exist in?
I am dead inside, Sherelle. That's what Flo was talking about with the correspondence theory. Like if we were all in the forest and we saw a deer, and you'd be like, "Did you see that deer? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, we all saw the same deer."
I didn't ask for more
But
narratives.
that is not
Jeff,
the
what do you
totality of
believe?
truth.
What do you believe?
About
Do
what?
you believe in the planets orbiting us and their impact on the
I
astrology?
accept them as external to myself.
Do you accept the fact that the fucking sun is the same for all of us and it brings us all life and air?
Yeah.
On this earth?
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So then
okay. Yeah, I know, but I think what y'all are.
That's the broad truth that we agree on.
I know,
From
but
there,
I've tried to make this point several times that is
They
only
came
a
before.
portion of what can be called
So
truth.
incoherent that it's barely comprehensible.
I'll stop.
Exactly.
I'm just a Chad normie.
Exactly.
I'll stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. That's truth. We got it. We solved it.
I agree with you, Jeff.
It's about a fucking story we share together,
This is
man.
not always
What's up,
factual.
Andrew?
You're talking about consensual reality or correspondent
Truths and
reality, like
all
Flo brought up.
things. Me and who I am self-evident. All people are created equal.
Yes,
Who
sir.
Okay, so that all has to be straightened out conceptually before we as a species, let's say, can move forward intelligently on this front.
I hope we can.
I don't know why that shit cracks me up. Sassy Jordan Peterson is funny as fuck to me.
Jordan Peterson's something else. The only thing I ever agreed on him was with the way he laid out the Bible.
About to say.
So that means you just. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, wait,
I
wait.
agree with a lot of what he says.
I can't even make it through one of his lectures.
That's why you became a Proud Boy, Felicity. Let's relax here, please.
He doesn't even advocate that sort of shit.
No. You believed the mainstream fucking puppets. That's all.
I wanted to LARP. Okay, let me LARP.
Let me LARP in peace. LARP in peace.
Truth or Cop, I'm thinking versions between either us being puppets, your thing, and my opinion of us being Muppets. We have a thought in our brain or something.
And I'm drier than the fiery pits of hell.
See, what Andrew is tapping into here is the consciousness of all humanity, and he's channeling people that in their perspectives right now.
The collective unconscious.
Nobody can know the
Sure,
truth of all
yes.
humanity because, like, not all humanity is all
Collectively,
existing at
we
the
are
same
the
time.
voice. We are the voice. We are that fucking mind. Everybody wants to be like, "Oh,
I don't
this
know
is
what you
the
mean.
them
That
and this
has
and
no
that."
meaning to me. We
It's
are the
us.
fucking mind.
It's us. It's us. You motherfucker.
Like we all have
I'm
one
talking-
mind, the oversoul.
Truth or Cop, cam up, and you two need to have a brawl. We've all gone after Jeff. He's an impenetrable fortress of.
The only reason I'm
wants me to
impenetrable is because y'all don't
penetrate him. That's
understand
the
logic
issue I
or
have.
reason or
I
like
don't
how
know,
you.
man.
You're sus to me, bro. I don't know what's going on there.
It's sus how
All
Jeff
I'm
wants me to
doing
penetrate
is
him.
using basic
What's happening
reason.
with
If that's
that
impenetrable, it's not
me?
me
I just tell them
that you have the issue with.
148 PC. Check it out.
What are we checking out?
be considered suspicious without any reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some cops are morally brought up, and others just have a job.
See, Andrew, I love you, brother, but they ain't ready for your message, dude. That's why you're having trouble bringing it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Dude. They are not prepared.
Speaking of not being ready for
please.
message, we have Smith
I'm
here.
sorry if I
So-
got y'all on the
No, Andrew, you're on the
Smith-
right path, bro. I got
Smith
it.
already knows that we're not ready for
Smith
his
will
truth.
will reconcile all of this for us. He's here to
Smith,
bring
come
us the
up here.
truth.
I haven't spoken to Smith in like 6 months, dude. He grifted me for fucking subs and then took
Good,
off.
because I need to make a
dude.
phone call anyway, so this will give me a break.
Bye.
We already know Kobe plays basketball.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, is that right? I thought
Chicago
it was Obama.
Bulls.
I thought that was Obama.
The Republican came when America.
No, Michael
signed-
Jordan was the Bulls, and then Kobe Bryant was the Jesus.
You better make that
Nate.
phone call, man. You're going to summon Smith to the stage.
I was trying to.
Smith,
I'm going to
That'll
bring
give me a
this up
reason.
again.
This is why you're going to
Up
hell.
for a second.
And
Michael Jordan used to play for the Lakers.
The Bulls.
And then he transferred to the
Oh
Bulls. in
God,
the
we got to
90s.
get these two on together.
oh
he's,
my
he's
God.
impersonating
come up.
Smith, Jeff. Jeff, he's playing the bit. Get it, bro. Get it. This
We
is
got
what
it. I got
teaches
it, at
you.
least.
That subtlety of spirit. Detect it, sir. Use your discernment and understand the deeper roles that
Yeah,
people
that
enact.
guy with his.
Truth or Cup, I didn't realize you were so deep in the woo woo.
Fuck you.
Hey, you know what? I like the woo woo. I just don't know much about it. But I did open my root chakra in jail. And no, it is not as dirty as it sounds.
Hold on.
All
I
right.
gotta bow out for a moment here. Hold on.
Smith, you're never going to hear me in your life ask you to come on.
Cynthia,
a
why
panel
is your mic
ever
low?
again?
I
So
feel like
take
it
this
keeps-
opportunity.
Maybe she didn't say anything, and I'm just tripping.
What Smith has to say to us.
How much to buy somebody off before they even get on?
I will post the price schedule in the chat again right now.
Smith's gonna get on his laptop there.
It's $5 for 5 minutes, 10 for 15, 20 for 30, 50 for the rest of the night, and 75 for the rest of the night with no option of buyback.
That's a good deal.
It's you know what? My whole pricing strategy is to be the lowest in all areas, and I think that I'm achieving it compared to competitors.
Well, there's no competition compared to such a deal as that, dude.
You should hear about our membership deal. It's $1 a month. It's the best deal on YouTube. $1 a month. And for that, you get custom emojis, access to the one members only stream that we've had so far. I'm sure there will be more, but I promise nothing for $1 a month. And you buy more, like Chuck did, and Steve does, and you gift them to your friends. And who else did one? Fucking Major Facepalm did. You get to bomb the chat and see who's lurking.
Wait, is it $1 or is it just 99
We get
cents?
moderator status on our channel for state.
Moderator status is not for sale. It is only given out, and actually given out relatively sparingly. Welcome, Smith. We summoned the.
What's up, Smith?
What's up, man?
Been a while since we chatted.
Yeah.
On the chat.
Origin, you're gonna force. If you don't have you better hold this off until you get your equipment set up, or else you're gonna force me to talk in your absence. You're gonna be helpless down there to watch as I butcher your beliefs.
Who are you talking about, me?
No, I was talking about Origin's beingness.
Orange and beingness attainment.
Forever has not been priced in. Everything's for sale though. I don't know if you've noticed, but Where's my clip?
Who's in it for the money and who's in it for the conversation?
Right. And Flow State's absolutely in for the fucking money. 1,000,000 trillion dillion %. He's a fucking grifting fuck.
I came on the channel because I know that he is all for hearing people.
Me?
Yeah, you. You're
I thought I was.
for hearing us.
You hear that, truth or cop? I'm ready for that truth.
Smith, we were waiting for the truth.
You what?
We were waiting for the truth.
I posted it in the chat there.
Well,
I heard you guys were talking shape or whatever, and there's
I don't feel like scrolling up. Just tell it to us.
I just posted it again, but yeah, I'd have to read it so I don't butcher it. It's if you
derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model by. Damn it! It went up. Model by.
That's the first couple lines on a Google search. It's directly on their website for a rigid aircraft.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. It's about their patent for a flat, non-rotating Earth, Andrew. That's what I'm telling you. Is they're lying about space.
Yeah, I don't have any objection to that sort of truth. I think Smith is bringing.
Almost just a little bit more, Smith. You're almost there. I'm about ready to hop off.
Off what? What do you mean?
He's
You're almost there.
Yeah.
Talk him off, Smith.
Yeah, talk me off. I've almost reached my limit.
Hail Obama.
Pause.
Sweet.
Obama.
Chuck's bringing the hard-hitting truth as always. He's always up here knocking me, but I don't ever really see him bringing much. He just kind of agrees and makes jokes here. He's not a bad guy. He's not insufferable or anything. It just,
Are you sure?
This is what I do is I research shit and I try to share it because I think it kind of helps to wake people up. Maybe it's not any one particular person's thing on panel, but people get it.
What have you researched lately? Is it like just watching?
So one of the new ones I found was Obama's from Chicago. If you break it down,
no, he's not from Chicago.
You know what I mean. He's not from Hawaii either. Anyways, so Obama lives in Chicago. He's the senator from there. And it's two words you can break it down. I made this up. It's chica go, like go away, because what is a woman? A woman is X, the X chromosome. That woman is the whore of Babylon. And from the founding of Illinois to the founding of Chicago is 6,000.
Okay, I'll check in later.
Okay.
So make a phone call.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Smith.
Yeah, peace out, dude. 6,666 days.
Cairo in
But you should talk over that, Chuck, because I'm sure you have something more important.
Of the whore of Babylon, riding on the top of the dragon is one thing that's in the Signs and Wonders right now. Do y'all know what that is?
Oh, I know what signs and wonders are. That's what the lights were put in the heavens for. And a big sign is this X marks the spot eclipse coming up.
The whore of Babylon on the top of a dragon's back.
I'm familiar. It's the year of the dragon.
What happened to Jeff, Flo?
He had to go make a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Is this the year of the dragon right now?
It sure is.
I was born in the year of the dragon.
I am the dragon.
Or no, I was born in the year of the tiger. Yeah, I'm a metal tiger, which I think is kind of a cool combination.
Yeah.
Born in the year of 1980?
6.
86. Are you shitting me?
No, it makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Oh my God, you're such a young pup.
37, dude. I'm not even that young. You're just that old.
Thank you.
You were still that young, Flow State? I would have thought you were a little older than me.
I'm just more mature.
I'm happy.
Where were you in 1960?
My dad was fucking 4 then, so I don't. Yeah.
Oh Lord, I could be your daddy. Scary thought.
And
Sentient beings only realize themselves into existence. All are unique and are not singularities, as every variation of the basic is thousands and many more. I don't even know what that means.
What's a sentient
I don't know
being?
either. But I gotta jump out of here. I'll be around, y'all. Be well.
Love you, Truther Cobb.
Love you,
Civilization
Plus
comes from the creation.
I can't wait to get my dick wet.
Don't know what I'm talking about, baby. I don't care what you say.
All right. I think I'm getting kind of closer to going to the portion where I'm just going to go over the thing I mentioned earlier.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that as well.
Okay.
From me.
So I'm gonna do final words. If y'all want to hang around and back, I may bring up after. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. But so I'm gonna put everybody in back. If you want to take a final words, any thoughts before I start dunking people?
No, good show.
Take care, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.
Amen.
Yeah, hey, I'll dip out right now. I just wanted to share that, yeah, it's the upcoming Super Bowl, 58th Super Bowl, 585 days, like 585 days from the Guidestones to the Super Bowl. It's Thomas Edison's birthday. We all remember the power going out at the Super Bowl. I got more on that, but
you can check out Smith's channel. Smith, I'll plug you. Even though that I don't agree, I don't believe the stuff you believe. Like, I appreciate that at least you're about it. So I can't do anything but have respect for your devotion to your shit.
And I work full time.
I know you do. I'll give props where props
This is
due.
what I do. Fuck, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Peace out.
Be good. All right. Let me share a screen here. So this, like I said, we're going to go over the survey. It's called Kansas Communities That Care Survey. And they give these to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in Kansas. Your state has one as well. I'm sure about it. If you've got a middle schooler, look into you might pay attention. Now, this is watered down from last year. Last year, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, my daughter told me about this survey she took last year. They had all the students taking it. You had to opt your student out. Otherwise, they were just automatically enrolled in it. This year, because parents flipped out, they've changed that around. Now you have to opt your student into it or they will be defaulted out. When my daughter told me about this, I logged on through her computer. I was able to see the questions, and I posted pictures of them to the local community's Facebook page. Parents flipped out. The next day, they canceled all the remaining surveys for the year. But this is this year's. It is watered down some. So we'll just kind of go through it. It might be dry. It might not be relevant. It might be interesting as fuck. Depends on how you feel. But, first questions, where are you at school? How old are you? Are you male or female? Last year, by the way, they had male, female, non-binary, trans. And they phrased the question. They had two different questions. They had what gender are you? And they had what sex were you assigned at birth? So they've sterilized that. Normal race questions. Let's see. So far this year, how you've attended school. This is all just sort of the intro stuff. Which of the following people live with you? Highest level of education your father completed. Same question for your mother. Where are you living? Language. And then we're about to get into the juice. Is anyone in your family currently serving in the military? How much have you heard about fentanyl? And then at my school, students have opportunities to help decide things like class activities. Teachers ask me to work on, this is about their attitude towards school. So I'll just leave these on screen in case somebody wants to pause it, but I'm not going to go through all these because they're not especially relevant, I don't think. Are you interested in classes? Of course not. How important do you think the things you learn in school are? Do you enjoy school? Have you skipped school? Then we hit the bullying. Mostly what I'm wanting to get to is the substance abuse. Someone been bullied. How often have you seen someone being bullied? Have you been bullied? Have you been bullied through texts or social media? Have you missed school because you didn't feel safe? Have you had property stolen? Bullying. Let's see. When you're feeling pressured, how he said this is about emotional sort of self-control. I forgot how much other stuff there is. Okay. In your lifetime, on how many occasions have you had alcohol? So when we go through this, just sort of imagine that you're a sixth grader, right? Think about sixth grade. How old are you in sixth grade? My daughter's 13 in eighth grade. So in sixth grade, you're 11. At that age, I had tried cigarettes and I had tried beer. I had not gotten fucked up on anything. I think that's probably the case for most of us. So, and remember that, like, at this age, most of them don't know shit about shit, right? So this is going to be new information for most of them. How often in your lifetime have you had alcohol more than just a few sips? Used marijuana? Used hallucinogens like LSD, acid, boomers, MDMA, ecstasy, Molly? They name them all out. Have you sniffed glue, breathed the contents of an aerosol spray can, or inhaled other gases or sprays in order to get high? You just learned how to get high by huffing. Used phenazidine, Pox or PX or Breeze. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Use prescription pain relievers such as, and then we're going to name them, just in case you rummage through your parents' medicine cabinet. Vicodin, Oxycontin, or Tylox, not prescribed for you by doctor. Use prescription tranquilizers such as Xanax, Valium, and Ambien, not prescribed by a doctor. This is I mean, it's just absurd to me. I'll keep going. I'll save my commentary. Use prescription stimulants such as Ritalin, Adderall, or Concerta, not prescribed to you. Now your little brother's got Adderall, and here you are sitting there at 11 going, oh, people take this stuff for fun? Ooh, you just learned something. They just taught you something. Have you ever used smokeless tobacco, chew, snuff, plug, dipping tobacco, or chewing tobacco? Smoked cigarettes, tried vaping. How old were you when you first? And I probably read more into phrasing. I put a lot more stock than most people into how things speak to your subconscious. I don't believe it's because I think it's because I'm more educated, I suppose, about psychology than most people are. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just saying that most people, economics and psychology are two subjects that people are intentionally not taught about because they're weaponized against us all the time. When you read a sentence like this, it is phrased in a way that implies the assumption that you have done it. The subconscious message being received here is it will be more abnormal for you to not have tried it. You don't have to be aware of the message being sent for it to land. How old were you when you first used marijuana, used smokeless tobacco, smoked a cigarette, even just a puff? Okay. Smoked, vaped, had more than a sip of alcohol, began drinking alcohol regularly, that is at least once or twice a month. On how many occasions, if any, this one they throw in the if any, have you drank alcohol during the past 30 days, used marijuana during the past 30 days, used LSD as boomers? So this is the same question as before, except instead of lifetime, it's 30 days. This is a new one. Used cocaine, including powder, crack, or freebase during the past 30 days. Used heroin, smack, junk, or China White in the past 30 days. Let's see. We've already been over the MDMA one. Sniffed glue, breathed the contents of aerosol spray cans, or inhaled other gases or sprays in order to get high. Taken methamphetamine, speed, crystal meth, crank, ice, or meth. This is just teaching kids every single drug there is and disguising it as a survey and all the different slang names they could use, all the different things they can sniff to get high. Used, see, I don't even know what that phenoxidine thing is. I don't know what pox is. It taught me something new. And I'm convicted as a drug dealer. Imagine that. Now I'm learning shit from this survey. Use prescription pain relievers such as Vicodin, Oxycontin, or Tylex. Back on the tranquilizer ones. And then there's the stimulants. During the past 30 days, how did you usually get alcohol? Now we're moving into teaching them where they can acquire these things from. We just taught them what they are. Now we're going to teach them how to get it. I bought it in a store such as a convenience store, supermarket, discount store, or a gas station. I gave someone else money to buy it for me. I asked someone to give it to me. A person 21 years old or older gave it to me. I took it from a store or a family member. I got it some other way. When you drank alcohol, where did you get it from? Okay, that last question was how to get it. Now we're going to teach them where to get it. School, bar, car, park, or outdoors. Where did you drink? Right, this is where we drink it. You can do it at school, at a bar, in a car, the park, my home, a friend's home, or other. If you get involved in the creative process here. On how many occasions did you have 5 or more drinks in the same occasion? Over the last 2 weeks, how many times have you had 5 or more alcoholic drinks in a row? How frequently have you smoked cigarettes in the past 30 days? You gotten from not at all to 2 packs or more a day. Jesus, that would be a lot for a middle schooler. That'd be absurd for a middle schooler. During the past 30 days, how did you usually get cigarettes? Now we're going to go through this with cigarettes. I bought them at a vape shop or tobacco shop. I bought them at a convenience store, drugstore, or gas station. I bought them on the internet. I gave someone else money to buy them for me. I asked someone to give them to me. Person 21 or older gave them to me. I took them from the store, a family member. I got them some other way. How frequently have you used smokeless tobacco? How frequently have you vaped? How did you usually get? So we're going to do this with vapes now. Where can you get them? A vape shop, a convenience store, the internet, a gas station, a drugstore. You give someone else money. I asked someone else to give them to me. A person 21 or older gave them to me. I took them from a store. I got them some other way. How did you usually get prescription drugs not prescribed to you? Now we're going to do it with prescriptions. I didn't use them in the past 30 days. I got them from a stranger. A friend or relative gave them to me. I bought them from a friend or relative. I took them from a friend or relative. I got them from a drug dealer. I got them on the internet. This is an instruction manual disguised as a survey. If you wanted to, how easy would it be for you to get? So now, pause and put yourself in the middle schooler's mindset for a second. You're 11, 12. You've just been taught what things are, where they are. And now this survey is going to have you ruminate on, would it be hard for me to do this? Now you're starting to put actually This question invites you to imagine, to visualize the acquisition process for all these things: alcohol, cigarettes, vaping products, marijuana, prescription drugs not prescribed to you. Now we're going to have you visualize how your peers would see you, but we're not going to ask it neutrally. We're going to lead the witness a little bit with this phrasing. Remember, straight to the subconscious. Would you be seen as cool if smoked cigarettes, began drinking regularly, or used marijuana? How wrong do your friends feel it would be for you to? All right, now let's visualize this. Would they think is wrong? If anybody remembers being that age, of course the answer is no. Nobody really would think it's a terribly big deal for you to do these things. Well, maybe that bottom one, or the second to the bottom one, but have a drink or two of alcohol a day, drink regularly, smoke tobacco, smoke marijuana, use prescription drugs, use LSD, cocaine, amphetamines, or other illegal drugs, or vape. Unless things have drastically changed with kids, which they haven't. The answer to this question is going to be they won't. Some of them might be a little apprehensive about some of these further down the list, but now with that in mind, that the odds that a kid is going to kid's going to have his friends disapprove of his behavior, the odds of this question being answered anything but a green light, right? My friends won't think it's wrong. Now they're going to ask you what you think. How wrong do you think it is? You're already keyed up with the answer, which is sort of the peer pressure, it's okay thing. How wrong do you think it is to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, vape, use marijuana? How much do you think people risk harming themselves if they... and before we get into this, recognize that realistically, the answer to all these questions is almost no risk. And they're inviting you to recognize that there is almost no risk, at least not immediately, of smoking one or more pack of cigarettes a day. Long term, yes. Remember, we're talking about 11-year-olds. They're not thinking long term. I'm 37. I don't think long term. Use vaping products some days or every day. Not much risk there. Try marijuana once or twice. There is essentially there's no risk in trying marijuana once or twice. And this question invites students to recognize that. Take one or two drinks from an alcoholic beverage. No risk there again, nearly every day. Take one or two drinks of alcohol nearly every day. So those two are basically the same question, right? Unless I'm reading stupid. Use prescription drugs that are not prescribed to them. Probably wouldn't hurt. Have 5 or more drinks of alcoholic beverage once or twice a week. Take fentanyl accidentally or on purpose. That's a weird one to throw in at the end there. But so the answer is there is no risk. There's very little risk. I mean, of course, the last one might kill you. But realistically, you're a kid, the risk here would be properly assessed as very low. It is very unlikely that unless you get caught, or excluding the last question, the rest of these is very unlikely that it would have actually any real physical danger in a time frame that's relevant to an 11-year-old. Sometimes we don't know what we will do as adults, but we may have an idea. Please answer how true these statements may be for you. When I am an adult, I will smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, use marijuana. If I think back, I don't think many kids plan to be smokers, but I think every kid probably just assumes that they'll drink alcohol because adults do. More and more kids probably assume they'll use marijuana because it's becoming more common for adults too. So again, this is a question that in my mind is being framed up to demonstrate the normalcy of these things to a young audience. In the past 12 months, have you talked with adults you live with about the dangers of tobacco, alcohol, or drug use? Have you heard media messages about preventing alcohol, tobacco, or other drug use? Probably both of these are going to be no. They haven't really. I mean, maybe in school. I don't know. I mean, presumably this survey would probably treat this survey as a media message preventing these things, even though it's Trojan horse. The past 12 months, have you gambled for money or anything of value? How many times have you played lottery or scratch offs, bet on sports teams? So here's all the ways you can gamble. Participate in any types of sports, fantasy betting, whether money or for free. Spent any real money on games you can play on the computer, phone, to buy credits, extra lives, or upgrades. Felt like you would like to stop gambling, but didn't think you could. Worried about the health and safety of someone in your household because of gambling. How old are you? In the past 12 months, how many times have you been suspended? Here's this. Yeah, this starts to get more fun. Carried a gun without permission or supervision. Sold illegal drugs. Stolen or tried to steal a car or vehicle. Participated in clubs, organizations, or activities at school. Been arrested, attacked someone with the idea of seriously harming them. Been drunk or high at school. And this is maybe a little bit more stretch of an inference, but I would say that that question right there, specifically, been drunk or high at school, it would 11-year-old, 12-year-old me, I would have, if I hadn't already recognized the opportunity, this question would have alerted me to the fact that I can be drunk at high at school, and I probably won't get noticed. Volunteered to do community service, taken a gun to school. I don't know why they felt like the need to ask that again. Repetition. Been involved in a fight on school property, been offered, sold, or given drugs on school property. Again, I feel like that last one is sort of one of those questions, just like the other one above it I mentioned, where if you hadn't already recognized the opportunity there, they make it explicit to you. Would you be seen as cool if you carried a gun to school without permission? I certainly think that this is in some schools, especially for boys, definitely yes. This just alerted some. There are definitely, without a doubt, there are some young men out there or boys who are just woken up to the fact that they would be pretty cool if they carried a gun to school. If they weren't alerted, they were having it reinforced. If you wanted to, and now we're going to do this for guns, how easy would it be for you to get a gun? Now, reminder, this survey is anonymous. It does identify age and school. It does not identify the specific student. Nothing in here could be used to prevent a specific incident. So that's off the table as far as a motivation for this. What they're trying to do here, they're just compiling data. I probably should have read the purposes beforehand, but I'll do it after. But yeah, they're just getting statistics together, getting some big picture information together. None of this is going to be specific. The question is going to be read by a specific student and interpreted on a specific level. The data coming out of it will not be. So now you've got individual students, some of whom are certainly recognizing it would be easy for them to get a gun, and it would probably make them look cool to carry one to school. It is all right to beat up people if they start a fight. If they start the fight, in my mind, this is just alerted kids to sort of the moral reasoning behind why it would. I agree, it would be fine if they start the fight, but for a school to sort of make a kid recognize that reality, assuming they come to the same conclusion I do, but to make a kid recognize that reality, this explicitly sort of sounds like it's inviting problems. Is it important to be honest with the adults you live with, even if they become upset or you get punished? I feel like this is a setup question too, where it forces the kid to recognize, you know what, it might not be that important to be honest with adults if they're going to be upset. I don't know, maybe it's just the way my brain works, but I think that to me, that reads like an encourage, you don't need to be honest about things. It'll make them, if you're dishonest with them, they won't become upset and you won't get punished. That's the conclusion that I draw from the way this question is phrased. I think it's okay to take something without asking if you can get away with it. Again, forcing kids to sort of think and visualize the process. When I played sports in high school, our coach would have us visualize things before the game. It's not, the process isn't insignificant. How many of your best friends, think of your best friends, visualize. In the past 12 months, how many of your best friends have? So now we're invoking peers. Again, smoke cigarettes, vape, tried alcohol when the adults didn't know about it. Used marijuana, been suspended from school, sold illegal drugs, stolen or tried to steal a car or other vehicles, been arrested or dropped out of school. I'm getting close to the end. How wrong do you think it would be for someone your age to steal something worth more than $5? Start a fight with someone, attack someone with the idea of seriously hurting them, skip school when the adults they live with think they're at school. About how many adults have you known personally who in the past 12 months? So after we've already identified things, told where kids can get them from, told them how they can get them, had them think about how their friends would think they're cool, how easy it would be for them to get it. Now we're going to go through the adults in their lives. How many adults personally do you know? So this is going to be a normalizing process. You're not being asked how many adults do you know who have not done these things, which would force you to count those. We're asking how many adults do you know who do these things. We're going to count up the ones who have engaged in this sort of behavior. That's what you're going to focus your attention on. Used marijuana, crack cocaine, or other drugs. Sold or dealt drugs. Done things to get them in trouble with police, like stealing, selling stolen goods, mugging, or assaulting others. Gotten drunk or high. How wrong would most adults in the neighborhood or area around where you live think it is for kids your age to? Well, I don't know about your neighborhood, but probably unless there's kids that live at the house, right? If it's a friend's parents or something. But I don't think most kids really know most adults, neighbors all that well. So this again feels like a setup question, sort of, where the answer is probably you don't know that many, at least not well enough to know how they think about this, aside from just a stock answer. You don't know. I don't think this is, maybe I'm wrong. Use marijuana, drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes. All right. Would a kid be caught by the police in the neighborhood or area around where you live if they used marijuana, drank alcohol, carried a gun without permission or supervision, and smoked cigarettes? The answer to all of these is absolutely not likely. This question is a statement. I'm reading this as a pure statement. It's telling you that you will probably get away with it. And that's absolutely true. In my neighborhood or the area where I live, my neighbors notice when I am doing a good job and let me know about it. Of course, the answer is probably never here. I don't think I've ever gone and told a neighbor kid that I noticed something they're doing and it's really good. If somebody did that to my kid, I'd probably be quite suspicious of it, honestly. So again, I'm looking at this as telling them that, that their neighbors won't notice them, which is correct. You can probably, they're not noticing the good things you do, so they're probably not going to notice the bad things you do. There are people in the area around where I live who are proud of me when I do something well. Again, are we talking about neighbors? So probably not. Like it's fairly abnormal for a child to have that tight of a relationship with a different just adult in the area. So to me, this reads like a statement that, you know what, I don't really know. It's pointing out that you don't really know these fucking adults around you that well. They're not paying that much attention to you. There are people in the area where I live who encourage me to do my best. Same answers. I like the area where I live. If I had to move, I would miss the area where I live. I feel safe in the area around where I live. I would like to get out of the area where I live. How much do each of the following statements describe the neighborhood or area where you live? Crime and or drug selling, fights, lots of empty or abandoned buildings, lots of graffiti. So again, for all these activities, it's the same thing, the same exact scenario as how many adults do you know that do these things, where it forces you to count up the positive case, the affirmative examples of these bad behaviors instead of the lack thereof. This is going to force you to notice and pay attention to these crimes that are happening. It's a normalization process psychologically. How many times have you been worried that food at home would run out? How many times have you skipped a meal? How important are these questions? How honest were you with the survey? I have not looked at the chat at all. Tab back over. Oh my fucking God. Please, I didn't share that screen, did I? I'm a fucking moron. Oh, well, I'll drop the link. Y'all can look at it on your own. It's embarrassing. I'm retarded. Tired. Okay, I did share it. All right. There's that if you want to look at it. So does anybody see what I'm seeing? Or am I just alone out here in insanity land? Yeah, I know that's sort of a weird question. But am I the only? I mean, it just the other parents here seem to feel the same way about it that I did. Here's what I don't understand how this could get distributed down through so many adults and nobody ever saw the flaws with this survey. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap up. Yeah, you're a planner. Okay, well, I'm going to call it a night. If I don't think drugs are good. The point isn't that drugs are good and that we should be encouraging kids to do them. The point is that drug laws increase the harm that addiction causes. So yeah, I don't even really think that this question is being asked in good faith, honestly. So I'm not going to elaborate on it much more. They do it in school. Yeah, like I said, last year they didn't notify parents. Apparently there's an opt-out thing. I don't remember ever seeing it, and I get text messages, emails. I get all the stuff. I don't recall seeing it. It could have slipped by me, but this year you have to opt in, and they do take it at school. Yes, sir. And I mean, the fact is that, yeah. So the issue is that we know that drug laws don't work. We know that from the war on drugs, which is 40 years, over $2 trillion. And I don't even know how many inmates in over this time period. Depending on the survey, drug abuse has either increased or stayed neutral. Most of the sources say it's increased over the past 40 years. The war on drugs has caused an increase in drug abuse. It's also caused an increase in violent crime, deaths of police on the job, organized crime, all sorts of things. We saw the same trends in crime happen during Prohibition. We know how prohibition of substances affects society, and it makes it worse. Well, yeah. Well, you can't. Oh, you're talking about you're talking about so that you can see your kids' answers. Yeah, I don't think you have that option. I know that Gen X Jeff, and many people will probably think I'm insane. I read too much into things. I invent things. I don't know. I don't know how anybody could tell me that from the top to the bottom, across the state, all of the adults who work in writing these questions, organizing the questions, putting together the data packets out of the questions, working at the schools, distributing the surveys, tallying them, all the adult hands that touched these things, and not one motherfucker thought, hey, maybe we shouldn't ask these questions to these kids. I mean, it's just one of those. It's just so fucking stupid. It's impossible for me to believe that that's an innocent mistake. But yeah, no, that's not an option because they don't have they fill it out at school, and it's not specified by name. They have you put your age or your age and the school you go to, because they do it all over the state. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm 37. I've got a conviction as a drug dealer. On paper, I'm a drug dealer convicted, and I learned new shit from that survey. That's fucking crazy. So what the hell are you doing giving this information to 11, 12, 13-year-old kids? Yeah, and I think Dare, these programs are so ineffective. And I remember being a kid, and my mom didn't like Dare. She had the same attitude that I have now as an adult about them. At the time, I was too young to get it. I didn't understand really. But now it's like, I don't know. Anyways, I figured that these surveys just came out. They emailed out the permission forms to parents, and I was looking at it last night and figured, well, you know what? I might as well show people this because they got shit like this everywhere. Kansas isn't special. So enjoy. Look to the abandonment of care ritual. That's the thing they did at that grove with the owl. That's the. I think I know what that is. In 6th grade, I won Best Dare Essay and had to read it on TV. And just today, I said something about Opana, Michael, and you were the only one who I recall responding and knowing what the fuck that was. The Dare suitcase inspired a whole generation. My best friend in high school had Dare stickers on his car, and we'd ride around getting high and getting drunk, and it was funny to us. So yeah, Dare really promoted drug use. Yuri's an OG. Yeah, Bohemian Grove. All right, guys, I'm out. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Suck my dick if you haven't sucked it. Hit the share button. You don't have to share it. You should share it because whoever you share it to will be smitten. But if you click share and then click copy, it counts in the algorithm as a share. Mucho, mucho. El mundo.